Yizzo! Shanti is not here, as you can hear. You don't hear her, everyone. But guess what? I have a very special guest. I have Pod Mother here. And if you are
Oh
on
Lord.
Patreon, you can see her.
Oh God.
And you probably know her voice. We have King Crissle here with us.
Oh Lord,
The
Antoinette.
God. Don't say, oh Lord, Antoinette. This is a big
We're
deal.
just getting started. Well, I mean, is it a big deal? Because it took you this long to ask me to be
All
on the
right.
show. So
Okay.
I don't think
You don't
so.
get it. I don't think
Really?
that I would never ask you. The only reason why I did ask you is because one time you were like, I mean, I'm wondering why I haven't been a guest on Around the Way Curls. And I was like, bitch, what? Okay.
Well, I mean, did I say it like that? Was I
Yes.
like how I
You
mean I
were
probably
you were a
did.
little bit inebriated,
I
maybe.
was okay, well that yeah, that tracks actually. But you know, I was just wondering because you have everybody else on the show and I was like, so Antoinette hates me.
That is Crystal.
Hmm.
Crystal. I'm not gonna call you Chris. Sorry.
Girl, what is the difference really?
Okay. Listen, that's so let me give background. I'm gonna give background. All right.
Okay.
The background is Jade of all Jades and I were like freaking frack. Okay. She's branched out as of recent, but I'm trying to get her back.
Okay.
And she introduced me to you, and I didn't know I'm not a real podcaster. So like I don't know, and I think that's why she felt comfortable introducing me to all her friends. Because I'd be like, "Oh hey," and I wouldn't know anything about
Oh,
anybody.
so you didn't okay.
I
So
had
I was
no
like, what are you trying to
idea.
say right now? Because you have like three shows.
No, no, no. But what I'm saying is, I had no idea who you were. I didn't know
Oh,
anything
okay.
about the
Oh,
read. I
that's fine.
didn't nothing. So I was just like, "Oh, this is Jade's friend, who's like really witty and kind of
Oh.
a bit standoffish, looking at me a little bit like, who are you?" But also like I'm a little bit open, a little bit like, "All right, let's see."
Mm, okay.
And I was just like, "Okay, cool." And I swear to God, Crystal, I did not know anything. And then I was like at your house once and was like, what the fuck does she do? Like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I swear to God,
Can't take it.
that house, that space in Brooklyn, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot. I was doing a lot.
I was like, it's time for me to ask the
To ask
question.
some more questions. God, that's wild, Anthony. I just
So
left that house
embarrassing.
like 2 years ago.
But I knew, no, okay, so eventually I knew this is really sad. And this says a lot about how little research I do and how unserious I was in this world. And
Hmm.
probably still unserious I am when it
Hmm.
comes. I just like the networking thing. That's not my forte.
Oh God, no, me either.
Mm-mm. So I think it was just like, okay, that's the homie. And I knew that you had a podcast, but I really didn't know how the scale
Hmm.
of it. And like when I really researched it and was like, holy shit,
Not
you
researched.
no dead ass. Like I was like, you fucking made all of this possible. Like all of it. Do you realize
Hmm.
that for like black creatives
I mean,
in
I
this
am,
space?
I am mother. That's true. But
You absolutely the fuck are.
I mean, yes. But the children have taken podcasting and completely put their own spin on it and all that. So, it's kind of like I get what you're saying, and I receive that. Like the read has been around for a very long time. That's just
10
true.
years and going
Yes.
strong.
So, I mean, I accept what you're saying. I think it's hilarious that this is my first time hearing it. I had no idea
You
that you
didn't know
were.
that?
No, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I didn't think. I'm never just like, oh my God, everybody knows me. I'm so famous. Like, oh, she totally recognizes me or whatever. It's not like that. But I didn't know that it took you that many years, Antoinette. I met you a long
I
time ago.
knew, no, I knew, because I came to a live show, so I knew that I knew eventually that you were like a podcaster and you had this
So
dope show.
funny.
I just didn't know the scale. I wasn't like listening
Got
to, I
you.
don't listen to pod, I listen to the Daily
Right.
for news.
No, I
Like
feel you.
so it was just like, holy shit. And it wasn't
Yeah.
honestly, you were arguing with somebody on Twitter
Oh
and
no.
you told that person, you were like, you need to be lucky that I'm even here because I'm the one that made this shit possible for you. And if I think that you know who I'm talking about. And I was like, damn, for real? And that was when I was like, holy shit. The whole like roots picnic thing. So I was like,
Oh
wow.
yes. Oh yes. Okay, I was about to
Yes.
say who was that actually because it could have been a few people, but
Oh, well, you got them together and I
but
loved it.
yeah, sometimes you gotta tell these niggas like, first of all, you're welcome for the career, and the resurgence and anybody giving a damn about you. Like,
That part. That
some of
part.
us paved the way, but you're just so adorable, Antoinette. That's so cute.
Aw. Shut up. See?
You're like, oh, she has a show. That's fun. Who doesn't?
No, it wasn't like that. It really. Anyway, whatever. I am very grateful. I'm very honored for you to be here because I feel,
Oh,
Crystal, that you
I'm
are
honored to
very
be here.
selective and that you don't fuck with everybody.
Well, that is true.
Okay.
And I'm never beating the bitch allegations. It has come up over
You're
and
not a
over
bitch at
again.
all.
No, I'm not. But when you
Oh.
first meet me, I'm very much like distrustful of new people. It takes a while for me to really warm up to new niggas because I never, well, first of all, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm just a little bit distrustful in general of new people and telling secrets, but especially with everything that comes along with being being on the show, like people get very weird sometimes. We don't have to get into all that. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, let me feel these niggas out. Wait
Yeah,
it
no.
out and see
You
if you're
gotta
going to
be
be a weirdo.
protective. You have to
Yeah.
be protective of your space and your
Got
energy.
to, because people will drain you and zap you of it if they can. So,
Yes.
but you are great people. You're so fun to be around and hang out with. You're just so cute. So, yes, I was like,
you.
wow, Antoinette finally thinks I'm good enough to be on her show.
Okay.
Look at God.
We need to stop that narrative
God is
right
really
the hell
just
now.
so big.
No, I dead ass. I told Mandy, I was like, guess who's gonna come on? I was like, Crystal, and she was like, whoa! Like Mandy
Oh,
was like,
Lord.
holy shit! She's like, that's a
Mandy's
big
crazy.
deal, and I was like, oh my god, not Mandy saying that. So, anyway, thank you
I
for
was gonna
being here.
say, of course. Thank you for having me. I feel honored and I'm so excited. So thank
We're
you.
gonna get into some things. First, I want to
Okay.
do updates. We always do updates first,
Okay.
and I had an update. I was very nervous today. Well, yesterday into today. I bought a new couple of pillows and a new mattress topper.
Mhm.
And I'm going to name the company. The company is I Love My Pillow. And I damn near had a heart attack because I thought I had supported Trump.
The My Pillow nigga, yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Because the worst part was that I slept on this pillow. I've been in Philly for a minute. And my mom had this pillow. And my mom is like she hates Trump. So I was like, this can't be right. But she was like, I kept asking her about like, where did you get this pillow from? Like, I've never slept better. It's amazing. And she texted me and was like, I'm really concerned about that pillow. I think it might be the Trump person. And I couldn't have bought that because I wouldn't have done it. So I was like, Mom, I just ordered 2 pillows and the mattress topper. And I put it on my bed and I slept on it. And it was the best fucking sleep I
Wow.
had ever gotten. And so I'm sitting here today like, I don't want to look it up because I don't want to have to return it. If I don't know, if I can claim ignorance, then I'll be all right. But
I mean-
it just didn't work. It didn't
I
work.
mean, that's also not how that works, but okay.
I know. I know. I
But
looked
two
it
different
up.
companies though.
2 different
hopefully.
companies.
Right, look at God.
I Love My Pillow is giving My Pillow a run for their money. So anybody out there who's
Good.
having issues, who's a side sleeper, needs a little more cushion, I would highly recommend you
Okay.
check out ilovemypillow.com. That is a free ad, but
I was
I'm
gonna say that's not paid. Wow, you're
it's
generous.
not paid. I just, well, it's believe a single dad started this company
Oh.
because he created this pillow and his kid was like, I love my pillow, Dad. And that's what he named the company. And I love that story. So fuck it. They're very
Okay.
rich and I'm not, but oh well. And also people need to sleep
that's fine.
better. So just check
They
it out.
do. Sleep health, sleep hygiene is so important. I did a whole paper on it. Never
Child.
mind. This is about to
No,
get very nerdy, but
we getting into it because here we go. I was about to say, are you done with school?
I mean the semester is over. Praise
be.
God.
Praise be.
I'm so tired. Ooh, and speaking of B, I finally got my first B.
What do you mean? A B
I got
on
a
a
B
paper?
this no, I got a B as like a final grade in a class.
How do
I
you
know.
feel? How do you
At first
feel?
I was like, but it's actually fine. You know, like this is important for getting rid of my perfectionist tendencies. It's important that I accept the fact that I got a B. It's a B plus, but it's a B. And I said, well, B's get degrees, bitch.
I'm so proud of you because I was not expecting you to like be calm, and you really
Yeah.
look calm about it. Like you
Yeah,
look
no,
at
I'm okay.
peace
I mean, because really think about how ridiculous it is to be spiraling out over a
over a
fucking
bee.
bee. Like, it's ridiculous, right? But that is the type of person that I historically have been. So,
So talk to
yeah.
me then about school. So did you go back? What for the people who don't know? What are you in school for?
Oh, yes. So I am getting a master's degree in mental health counseling. And it is quite a journey. I am at the internship part of the program now, so I'm seeing clients
Wow.
on a regular basis. I'm actually staying, over the summer. You don't have to work, but I'm still gonna see all my clients over the summer
Of
anyway
course
for
you
no
are.
money and no credit. Just out of the concern I have for the therapeutic relationship. I don't want to be like, okay, see y'all in August, and like,
Right.
hopefully you're not too fucked up by the end. Like I just didn't want to do that. So, but yeah, I will be graduating next spring, Lord willing. Let me knock on. This is
You
probably
will
like not
be.
wood, but and yeah, I am really enjoying the program a lot. I'm learning a lot. And I feel like being in therapy myself, because I've also been a client, I've been seeing my therapist for 5 or 6 years now. And
Wow.
I really think that gave me a huge leg up as far as like school goes, because I feel like I have an understanding, a really deep understanding of the process already as a client. And so just learning the things that my therapist has been like using on me is like, oh,
Mm.
wow, I'm having a lot of like, I know what you did type of moments.
Does it
Yeah,
change
in
your
school.
therapy at all? Like when you're talking, are you also like self-assessing as well, or are you listening to your therapist and being like, I know what you're doing. I know what
Well, no, not like that. Because normally in therapy, I am talking about something where I don't need to be trying to then also like do the work of
you're
the
doing.
therapist. But it has increased my understanding of mental illnesses and things like that, and how difficult it is to recover from trauma, but also how possible it is. And so our conversations, like she's very much still my therapist, but sometimes we have conversations that are like therapist to therapist, which is nice
Mm.
because we're talking about other stuff. And so it's like, well, what do you think? Like, what's your clinical perspective of this? And I'm like, well, I'm happy you asked. And so, yeah, we have little moments like that. But she was a huge encourager when I told her I wanted to go to school because she had changed my life. She was
Mm.
like, wow. But, she's been a big supporter of me deciding to do this.
That's amazing. And so
Yeah.
the what's the end goal with it? Because I would think it's going to be, or I would assume it would
Hmm.
be difficult for you to start taking like just regular clients and people
Oh,
are
yeah.
coming and being like, "Hi, Crystal."
Right. Right. Literally. That is a huge concern. And thankfully, none of my clients have recognized me yet, or if they
Mm.
have, they are being very, very good about not saying anything.
Okay.
But yeah, right now the goal is just to get the degree.
Okay.
I don't have any plans to actually work full time as a therapist. Right now, I'm not even planning to get licensed because licensure is another 3,000 hours after you graduate
3,000
of
hours of what?
of so like either 1,500 or 2,000 is direct service. So one-on-one therapy, couples counseling, group counseling, that sort of thing. And then the
Excuse me.
oh, it's
So
summer in
loud here.
Brooklyn.
I was staying again. I was staying with it.
It's
Then I was like,
summer in Brooklyn.
my bad.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then the rest of that is indirect service. So, research that you do for clients, billing and clerical work related to the clinic or whatever, like writing notes, things like that. So yeah, I'm drawing a blank on like other examples of indirect work, but it's a lot of fucking work. That's
Yeah.
like at least a year and a half if you're working full time, 40 hours a week. That's at least another year and a half. And you make more, but you don't make what a therapist who is fully licensed on their own makes. So
Mm.
I'm like, do I really want to spend another year and a half at least just to
Mm.
get licensed when I'm probably not going to be a practicing therapist? Like
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right now, just focused on the degree,
Yeah.
and then we'll, because licensure will always be available as an option. So I can
That part,
always.
I was gonna say, I hope you take a break,
There's
like
no
take a
rush,
beat.
right, right, and I really, really want to take a break. I am. School is beating my ass. Like I love it, but it's beating my ass, and I cannot wait to graduate. I just to not have to type nothing else. Like I just need
Oh my God, I
just a
can't
little
even
time
imagine.
away. Yeah, but
If
it's
somebody
it's
asked me to
wonderful.
write a paper right now, I'd be like,
I know,
they
right?
don't, I can't.
Mandy said, "You really a bad bitch," because I can't imagine somebody telling me to turn in an
Seriously,
assignment on Tuesday or something.
could
Kiss
you
my ass.
imagine? Like I'm asking you, could you imagine? Like,
Right?
yes,
Like,
you
yeah, I
can. Like,
can.
I cannot imagine being a student again, ever, ever.
Right,
Doing the
right.
outline is enough. Where I'm like,
Yeah,
God damn it, I
yeah.
gotta type this shit out.
And
Well,
then
big ups to you.
I have to like pretend to be like a normal person with a normal job around my
Hmm.
classmates. So they're like, "Oh, I can't wait to get licensed and start making more money." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, me too. The
You
price of
like,
eggs, you guys, is crazy."
fuck you, yo. Not you speaking down to the peasants. Fuck
I'm just trying to
you.
blend in.
No, keep it. Listen.
And
Yeah,
I just realized I wore this same shirt when I recorded with Fran for her thing, her Patreon thing. So this is just my podcast shirt now, I guess.
well, that's fine.
Sorry, that was random, but yeah, really enjoying school, really learning a lot.
Well, you mentioned a bee, and I thought you were going to the queen bee
Oh, well.
because I need an update. I need to
Oh,
know how that
girl.
was because you
It
saw her. Where did you see
yes.
her?
In
In Paris.
yes, it was technically
Wow.
Paris. It was technically France. But yeah, it was an incredible show. I can't wait for it to come stateside so I can, because first of all, I feel like American crowds are better than European crowds.
Really?
Yes, because so part of it is like a language barrier where it's harder to learn the words to songs in a tongue that you don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it is just like I feel like so much of the crowd there, they just really don't know the music. And I don't know if
Oh.
it's because it's Beyonce, so it's like a hype thing. So people are like, "Oh, I'm going to the show because Beyonce's coming." So like, I want to get my Instagram off or whatever. I don't know what it is, but there are just so many like giant pockets of people at the show who are sitting there completely still,
You're fucking kidding
silent,
me.
silent at the Renaissance World Tour.
I thought it would be like hyper. I thought they would be
Well,
losing it.
so Asante went to the Sweden show, which was
Uh-huh.
the first show, and the Paris show, and he said Paris was way better. The crowd was
Well, she
way
kind
more
of shaded
into it.
the Swedish crowd a little bit. Shout out to
Well,
her.
well,
She was like,
but
"You eat, thank you." Second show talking about we're the best crowd yet, girl. It was,
see, I didn't even see that.
you ain't seen her say that? That shit
I
was
had
hilarious.
no, I had Beyonce, Bey, Blue Ivy Carter, Beyonce Carter, Renaissance World Tour, all the hashtags. I had everything filtered, muted to hell. I said, you niggas are not gonna ruin
Oh,
this show for me. So
I know like half the show because I be on fucking BeyonceWorld.net. Hype,
yeah, yeah.
hype.
I mean, I'm glad I didn't see any footage, but also I don't think it would have ruined the show for me at all. It is incredible.
And you were
Oh,
at the show where Blue Ivy came out for the first time, right?
yes.
Oh my God.
And because of my filters, I thought that Blue had always been in the show.
No, you that's what remember I wrote you and was like, excuse me, did you just see Blue Ivy? Like, is that what just happened in your life?
Yeah, I found out afterward. Well, like after Blue had gotten off stage, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like talking to Asante, like I can't believe this 11-year-old girl. He was like, "Yeah, I can't believe she came out for the first time." I'm like, "What?" So I was like, "Oh, we're doubly blessed." And I know
So lucky.
Paris means a lot to Beyonce, but
I know.
I adored it. I adored every fucking second of that show. It was over too soon as far as I was concerned. Because she did a lot of Black is King too.
I saw that.
Oh,
I
well, yeah,
hope
you
she
do know.
I, I know half the show. I know like the set list. So I hope she keeps though Black is because for I'll be honest, I was like for the Renaissance show, I don't want these other songs. I don't want to hear her old work. I want 2
Yeah.
hours of Renaissance. Like elongate the shit. I want Vogue. I want all of it. And
Okay.
now that I'm seeing what she's doing, I'm like, I love it.
Yep.
But I hope that she keeps the Black is King stuff because I feel like when she comes here, she might switch it up because the European crowd is more
Mm.
into they were more receptive of Black is King and it didn't
Oh,
do as well. Listen to me, I'm a stalker.
I didn't even know that, but it
Yeah,
makes
it didn't
sense.
do as well. It makes complete sense because the diaspora, a lot of folks went,
Yeah.
are in Europe. So, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's gonna majorly change the show or like remove the Black is King stuff.
I would
Like,
hope not.
I just don't, I really don't think so. And if y'all, I don't understand people who don't like that album. It's incredible.
It was because it was attached to the Lion King.
It's
People were
so
just like, "Oh, it's a kids
good.
album." That album,
Oh my God, no,
the
it's so good.
documentary to go along with
Yes, the
it,
Black
it's
is King
gorgeous.
on Disney Plus is so
Hmm.
I wore it out. It's beautiful. I
I
don't know what's
know.
wrong with y'all. I really don't. People say they don't listen to that album. Like, I still play Black is King to this
I
day.
I think they just that you get to a point where you're so great and people just don't know how to
Mm,
appreciate it anymore. They
yeah.
really don't. It's like
Yeah.
this woman is 40 years old up there carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have three kids.
Showing out. 41.
Uh-uh. She 41?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's
Like
a
we
year older
how
than
many
me.
more tours are we gonna get from her?
Right. This
Like
really
you
could be the
gotta
last one.
appreciate it.
Yeah. And it's just, there's a thing, and I don't know where I first heard this, but like when you are so great that you make it look easy, people tend to like
Hmm.
undervalue you.
Yep.
And it's weird to say that Beyonce is undervalued. But I
She is
really think in a
though.
lot of, especially like as a creative and as an artist, the things she's doing in these shows, the way she, not even just the visuals and the background, but the songs that she chooses to like fade in and out of each other, or like the what she layers and just what she's doing vocally, and then everything that the dancers have going on. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. Like, this is
Yeah.
an incredible show. Nobody is doing it like Beyonce.
Nobody.
Not one soul.
Some of the people on her team I happen to know by like through other connections and they're like she's
Mm.
got her fucking hands in everything.
She does, yeah.
She has her hands in every aspect
Hmm.
of her business. It's
Yeah.
just like anyway, I could
But you
talk.
can but you can see it. Like if you watched Homecoming on Netflix,
Yeah.
she and like that's no secret. Like we've always seen Beyonce, and especially since 4, when she really went like independent grown woman doing my own
Hmm.
thing type. Like Beyonce absolutely knows what she's doing and is being very deliberate, and like this is her shit.
Yep.
This is her art. Like
Yeah.
she's really expressing herself with with herself, with self-titled and Lemonade, those visual albums. Like she's just
Hmm.
so, I really feel like underrated when it comes to that, cuz she makes it
Definitely.
look easy.
Yep. And if I always we always say like if you don't like Beyonce then you just have a character flaw. It's a character flaw and it's like it's okay. You can work
Mm.
it out, but like you're projecting something there and I'm praying for you. That's how I feel.
Well, I would say if you
Here comes the therapist. Go
I
ahead.
know, right? I'm like,
Go ahead.
I don't know if I can co-sign that
I'm
statement.
well, I said it.
But I think, not liking her music is fine. It's not for everybody. But I
Right.
think if you're like a Beyonce hater, that's where I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you? Because what did
That's
this
what I
lady do to
mean.
you?
Right, like you're not okay.
Yeah.
Like leave her alone. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, moving right along.
Okay.
We want to shout out the new patrons. We always do this every episode. So shout out to Jasmine, Yasmin, Shannon, Portia, Alex B, Key, Sonia, and Bria. We appreciate you, and you can
Yay.
see our lovely faces on the Patreons. Moving right along. Oh, you know what? Let's take a break, child,
Okay.
because this mid-roll will be coming in 50 minutes into the damn show. Take a break, and then we'll come right back with some politics, some sports talk, and some pop culture. I never get to talk
I
sports
know, right?
ever, so I'm excited. All right, we don't never really take no break now. Okay, putting in the numbers right here. Okay, you
This
good?
is fun. Oh yeah, I'm great.
All right, and we're back. All right,
Woo-doo. Sorry.
sister.
Yes.
I never get to talk sports, so here we are.
I never get to really talk sports. It's always like
Oh my God,
a
that
joke.
Now that is
A
something that
mess.
I catch sometimes on the interwebs. And when
A
I saw it at your
mess.
live show, I was howling.
Right? He is a
I was like,
fool.
uh, what is it? Sports shorts? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I
Kid
can't
Fury
stand
sports
y'all.
shorts.
I
It's a
can't
mess.
stand y'all. I was like, yo, this is comic. Like the
It
wit,
is.
the brilliant. He's genius.
He's
Anyway,
hilarious, yes.
I can't. Now, the finals are here.
They are.
I hate it so much. I hate it. I watched a little bit of the first game. I was underwhelmed. I was like, the only people that are enjoying this are Denver fans and
Yeah.
fans in where's it, Serbia? Ciao. I was over it.
Yeah.
I hate it. This is not what we asked for. Script rewrite.
I was gonna say the writer's strike is really fucking us all up, is it
Yes,
not? Cause who asked for a Nuggets Heat final?
I'm not mad at the Heat. I was rooting for the Sixers,
Obviously.
obviously. But
Right.
since we got the Heat, I'm like, yo, what a great story this would be. Jimmy Buckets, he's gonna, but like, they don't stand a fucking
Not
chance.
one, baby. Not one. And that, I really feel like Miami fans are gonna have to take the Eastern Conference Championship as their win.
Yeah,
Because there is no way, especially because they shit the bed so bad with Boston, letting that go all the way to game 7
they're
instead of
exhausted.
wrapping that up by game 4. They're tired. Denver didn't
Hurt.
need no rest, and they got like over a week to
Sitting at
just
home
fucking
chilling.
stretch. Oh, I said,
Not to stretch. They was in their ice bath like,
yeah,
look at
like,
these fools.
look at these fools. Thank you, Boston. I know they was just like, yeah, it's gonna be even easier for us to beat niggas' asses now because they've been getting good sleep, baby.
And
Like,
then they're used to playing in that altitude. Did you
right.
see how Charles Barkley
Yes.
and who was that? Grant Hill, they were taking
Uh-huh.
oxygen in between takes. I'm like,
Yes.
it's like that, and you
It
want me to run back
is.
and forth and with the ball?
Yeah, we've done shows in Denver before. And as soon as you land, you can feel the difference in the air. Like it is legitimately harder to breathe because
Oh
of the
no.
altitude. So I said, good fucking luck coming from South Beach to the
You're right.
fucking Rocky Mountains.
This whole thing was dumb. The whole
Good
thing.
luck. Good luck.
I couldn't be more
Good
irritated.
luck.
Now,
Yeah.
who did you want to see?
I wanted um I wanted the Lakers in the finals, even though I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
Um, just because I like chaos, I like negativity. I
What?
wanted I wanted to see Stephen A. Smith have a meltdown on
Oh,
ESPN. Because I feel like his LeBron feelings don't fully make sense to me.
he's getting as bad as Skip.
Like
He's insufferable sometimes.
it's so. Oh, and did you see that Shannon Sharp is leaving
Yes, girl, we gonna
Undisputed?
talk. We gotta talk
Oh,
about it.
oh, okay, okay. Well,
No, you
um,
talk about it now. It's sports talk.
so well, I don't. I mean, I'm not shocked, and especially after what was Damar Hamlin after the Damar Hamlin
Yes,
thing, and Skip tweeted something that I really felt people. I wasn't gonna defend him because fuck Skip, but
right.
I really felt like people did too much with that because what he said was true. Like this is unprecedented. The NFL
Mhm.
is gonna have to figure out how they're gonna do this, but it was just like, don't
It
nobody want to
wasn't
hear
the
that
right
right now. Like a
time.
24-year-old is in the fucking hospital, so
Yeah.
and like so nobody wanted to hear that. And then I
When
don't
he
know if it was
came
the
at him
next
about the
day.
Tom Brady thing
Yes, I said,
and
oh no,
and
this is
acted
falling
like
apart,
Shannon was like
child.
some regular ass football player. But
Right, like
excuse me, he's in the fucking Hall of Fame. Like he said, he got
right.
jewelry, he got rings.
Who are you,
Fucking
Skip?
right. What have you done, Skip? Exactly. And
And
it just
Skip is from Oklahoma, so he's like double the embarrassment.
mm,
He's
I
so
think
embarrassing.
what I'm so sad about is that excuse me, Shannon, I'll miss Shannon because
Hmm.
Shannon just brings so much to television.
Yeah, he does.
He's another one that like you can't teach that kind of charisma. Even when he was on the
Hmm.
field, I wish we had more footage of him talking his shit and doing his thing on the field because he's
Yeah,
pure comedy. But I was so fucking impressed with how he did take the 1 day off after Skip
yeah,
got on his fucking nerves a little too
yep,
much. But he
yep.
came back And he's been jovial, he's been professional, he's still
Mm.
protected his own brand. He didn't go on there sucking his teeth or causing any chaos. He just was like, it's time to move on. And you see
Yep.
him pushing his platform,
Yep.
the Uncle Shay Shay thing, and he's got this platform that's growing. He's interviewing folks that aren't just, sports related. So like I'm proud of him. I'm interested to see where he goes, but I'm so fucking sad for us. Like I literally will
Yeah.
have it. We'll eat an edible, and then we'll watch the best of Skip and Shannon. Like there's an hour long cut on YouTube that
Hmm.
I just cried laughing, and it's
Yeah.
all Shannon. But it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
no. I don't watch Undisputed because Skip is so fucking annoying. But I don't watch most sports talk shows
mm,
anyway. Like I don't, I'll watch whatever they're airing before the NBA usually, before the game starts or whatever. Like I'll watch that, or when I watch the NFL, I would get into those shows, but I'm
yeah,
not huge on them. I love Inside the NBA though. I know
that's
you
the
don't.
best.
Oh, wait, I
No, I
thought you said them
do.
old men got on your nerves.
No, I
Who
didn't. Why
said
would you
that?
put that on
Okay,
me?
it wasn't you. Sorry. I don't know
I
who
love
said
the
they hated
Ernie,
Inside,
my
right?
boo.
Ernie is so cute. I'm like,
Brilliant.
this little adorable white man, and then these niggas.
It's the perfect
It
dynamic.
is.
I
It
don't know
really
who
is.
created that, but it is
It's
brilliant.
so
Poor Kenny
good.
though. Kenny, I just feel like, oh, he just gets shit on every day. Poor baby.
I mean, until they start having the championship
Mm.
talk, and then I
But
just, you
Kenny
know
wants
what?
to be a coach.
Does
He's
he?
all, oh my God, he was so close to becoming the Knicks coach, and they didn't hire him.
I did not know that.
Yes, he's always interviewing. He looks at those
Wow.
positions, and they call him in to be interviewed, and then he doesn't get the fucking gig.
Oh, that's
It
sad.
sucks. I
Yeah, that
know.
does suck.
But fuck these
He's so
finals.
rich, right? Oh well, yeah. I was watching the game. Was that yesterday? See
No,
how
you weren't.
I was so
You just
bored.
had it on. He wasn't watching it. It was just on in the fucking. I'm telling you, that shit was boring. Even the way Yoke plays, it's
Yeah.
boring. He's like, he bothers me the way Tim Duncan bothered me. It was just like, oh, I know you're
Oh
good, but I'm
yeah.
ready to go to sleep. I
Yeah.
hate it.
But see, you don't have to be you don't have to have an entertaining style as a player as long as you win the fucking games.
I get it,
The
but
Spurs won
also,
how many championships with Tim
I
Duncan?
know.
Like the
I
niggas
hate
don't
it.
care.
I
So,
hate it.
but yeah, I was looking at that game like, girl, not only is this boring, but Miami has a 0% chance. Like, so we're just gonna sit through four boring ass
Four.
games.
I hope they lose so many fucking. I hope nobody watches this shit.
Get
It's terrible. I
serious.
do. I hope nobody watches it. I hope the ratings plummet.
We're gonna watch it.
I'm not watching it. I don't
Yes,
give
you
a.
are.
I'm not. I'm
Don't you
really
not?
not. I turned it off.
You not
I
gonna watch the
did.
game Sunday?
No, I'm gonna be at the Roots picnic watching Usher.
Oh Lord. Ooh, I didn't know Usher was going into a Roots
He
picnic.
replaced Diddy, child. We don't know what's going on. I don't know why
Okay.
Diddy pulled out, but Usher gonna be there, and I can't make the Vegas show, so this is all I'm getting. He better
Oh, that
skate
Vegas
around.
show is so he is not skating around in no
He
damn
better
Roots
he better figure it out.
picnic.
I want to
That
see skates.
no, that Vegas residency is so good. You should
I
go.
know.
He's going to Paris too for like a special show. We should go to Paris and see Usher.
Oh well, I'm one of those people in your class where I'm like, yo, I can't wait to start working so I can get paid some real money.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Eggs,
So I wouldn't, yeah, eggs.
salmon is so expensive.
Eggs,
No, I
very
get it.
expensive.
Yeah,
So you're like,
no.
yeah, we should go to Paris. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
bitch,
gosh.
let
No,
me check, let me check my American Express points.
well, it's not till like way later this year.
Wow. She says, sis, you can save. It's nothing.
I'm like, what's your problem?
Not my rich friends, y'all. I keep telling y'all, my friends be rich.
No, I don't want
Like,
to hear
woo.
no rich shit. I am not stingy. I'm not stingy at
You
all.
are not
But
stingy at all.
I am very generous, but I am frugal. I will sit in my house and sweat before I cut the AC on. And I'm in the summer, and I'm the same way. When it comes time to put the heat on, I will bundle up and be like, I'll be damned.
But then you'll go out and you'll like pick up the whole check,
Oh
and it
yeah,
stresses
that's
everybody the fuck out.
it does. That's the
So
type of shit I do. But see, it stresses people out, but they love it really.
Of course they love it,
Nobody's
but
really
for me it
mad.
was stressing me out because I felt like I was like, all right, wait, she don't even know me like that. This is just happening because I happen to be here. I
Yeah,
need to contribute.
it didn't.
Right. She
I
said,
didn't have
yeah,
to know
see?
you.
That's stressful to me. That's
Well, no,
stressful.
it's I love doing things like that though. I really do. I just think it's so fun um to pick up the check. It's just the
Annoying.
type of
It's
shit
like,
I love to
all right,
do.
well, thank you.
Anyway, I don't know how we got. Oh, but Usher. Yes. Okay, so you're not gonna watch Sunday's game. All right, fine.
No,
I mean, and what are you really gonna miss?
nothing. Another
Exactly.
boring ass game.
Yeah. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But congrats to the Nuggets on their inevitable championship because it's coming. I know you said you
Boo.
didn't want them to win, but
No, this is a hard year for Philly. This is a hard year
ooh, cause that
for us.
Super Bowl. Ooh,
All right, moving
ooh,
right along. Don't do me.
ooh,
Don't upset me. I can't think about that.
ooh.
The
That broke
most
my
points
heart.
ever scored by a
Woo!
losing team in a Super Bowl. My QB put us on his back, and my defense did not show up. Anyway,
I mean, you're not wrong. And Jalen went to OU, so I was a supporter anyway.
see, and
So
who doesn't support him?
I
That
mean,
angel.
he's gorgeous.
But
He's
he's also
just
fucking perfect. Like he
right.
better not have a. He's like Obama.
Oh
He
yeah,
can't
we
have a scandal come out. I would
please,
be
please,
heartbroken,
please. No, I'm still recovering from Jonathan Majors. I can't.
girl.
I can't. I can't take it. I'm
That
like,
was too
I
much.
never publicly lust after men. I never do that. And
Ever.
yet, I said Jonathan Majors could split me wide open,
Ooh,
like, cause you
you know
know
how we was talking over here. We was
you're
loving
my
him
oh
now.
yeah, you're my heterosexuality coach. So I've just been trying to
I
incorporate
think you
more of
should.
that.
Mandy and I were talking about that, and we think that you should maybe ask her to do it because she's far. She was like,
Damn.
"You're terrible." I really am. I don't know if I'm the. I don't really think that you want to be a heterosexual.
I
If
don't
you
think you
ask
want
me
to
to
be a
do it,
homosexual,
I
but
think I might.
no,
I'm over it. The struggle
no.
is real. I think I'm back.
You tried, Antoinette.
I think I'm
Remember?
back, baby.
Remember gaping hole?
All right, move right along.
Remember gaping
No,
hole?
I'll never forget when I said that to you, and your face was like, "Are you insane?" I was like, "Oh, I
I
guess I
love
said
it.
something inappropriate."
No, you said something hilarious, and I'll never ever get over it. But
Whatever.
yeah,
Moving
yeah.
right
No, we
along.
can't. Jalen can't break my heart. Please,
No,
please,
please, God.
please. No,
All right,
nephew.
something that's breaking my heart.
Hmm.
Politics as usual.
Oh
Have you heard
God.
about this Ash and Chess fiasco at Target? I'll
Not
put you on.
specifically, but I think they're getting rid of the pride stuff. Is that it?
Here we go.
Oh
Ash and
Lord.
Chess, which designed a series of products for Target, said its products have been removed due to threats from domestic terrorists in a statement on Friday.
Oh God.
Ashley Molesso and Chess Neham, who run Ash and Chess, wrote a children's book, ABC Deconstructing Gender, that had been caught up in the controversy. Now, Target has faced boycotts from conservatives, of course. Uh-oh, you
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
Queen?
Yes, I knocked my
You're
cup
fine.
over, but I was gonna Google this because I want to order this book.
Oh,
Okay, go
um,
ahead.
no, you're fine. And threats to its staffers after displaying a range of merchandise to celebrate LGBTQ plus Pride Month in its stores, such as rainbow themed clothing and friendly accessories for infants and children. Now, one item has drawn particular scorn,
Oh
and
God.
this was a one piece tuck friendly swimsuit aimed at transgender women, which provided extra material to conceal their genitalia.
Okay.
While some argue that the range was contributing to the indoctrination of children, others said it was positive for young LGBTQ plus people and youth and allows them to express themselves through clothing. So Ash and Chess put out a statement.
Okay.
It's a little bit lengthy, so I won't read it, but they were basically saying that they were overwhelmed, they were heartbroken, and that
Yeah.
it was too much. It was at that point too much for them to even process and deal with,
Yeah.
and it was basically devastating. And I was curious to know what your thoughts are. I have thoughts, but
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of it's like, what are you supposed to do when people are hateful and ignorant and have no desire to learn? What are you supposed to do in that situation? Because, like, we can sit here and argue with homophobes and transphobes all day. Like, as a clinician, I can tell you what the research says about gay and trans kids and
Tell
like
us.
I mean, but the thing, like the point of it really is that like you can't hate the gay out of somebody. You can't
Mm.
shun or
Ostracize it.
ostracize. Work.
Yeah.
Wow, synchronicity. But like hating your gay kid won't make them straight. Hating your trans daughter won't make her cisgender. You know, like
Mm.
and gay and trans kids have higher rates of suicide and mental illness and depression and more likely to live in poverty and this and this. Like all of these things are connected. And like this I don't know what to do with people who not only like don't believe that but are not willing to look at the data for themselves. It's just like y'all decided that you hated this. Y'all decided y'all were going to be, you know, ignorant and terrible, and then now you're in Target filming yourself like ripping merchandise down
Right.
off the damn shelves. Like, are y'all crazy? I just feel like this, I don't know, man. It's like this country is really not that things were ever ideal for you know, the community, but it really feels like since Trump, things have gotten so much worse. And Trump's ignorance wasn't even really about the gays, not mostly, but
Mm.
you know, I just feel like he ushered in this era of I'm loud and wrong and it don't matter.
That.
The whole
Well,
alternative facts things. Like, girl, there's not
mhm.
alternative facts. It's either a fact or it isn't. Like, I feel like there's a level of ignorance and like willful ignorance, joyful ignorance, and it doesn't matter if I'm wrong because fuck you and I'll shoot you. You know, I just feel like that is a pervasive attitude that I
Mhm.
feel is growing and it just is so disheartening.
Yeah, we're at a place where the term woke is
Oh
negative.
God,
To
I
be
cannot,
aware is negative.
I
And I
cannot with white people and woke. My God,
listen, you're saying black. Just say black, but okay. Um, it's my
because that's what
fucking
they
my
mean.
white ass mom said that. She was like, "They're saying black. It's a dog whistle. Like, what the fuck? What is this?" Like, she
Because
was
they
over
don't.
it.
They're saying woke in situations where it don't make sense. Like
Also, they should just be embarrassed. Like, anyway,
calling
I
Chick-fil-A woke, girl, be
oh,
serious.
the fact that they are mad at Chick-fil-A now for
I'm
having a
saying,
DE&I executive is comedy. The way
like,
they turn. Anyway,
baby.
this to me was directly related to Republicans
Mm,
losing momentum when they were defeated by like the
yes,
same-sex marriage.
yes, mm,
And then they got a little bit of momentum when, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but then it
yes,
backfired, right? In the
right,
primaries. They soon
yes,
found out like, oh, hold up. This
yep,
isn't a winning argument
right.
anymore. We have to figure this out. And so now I feel like the whole trans thing is a rallying cry for the
Mm-hmm,
Republican Party. They the bathroom thing wasn't sticking. That wasn't
right.
working out. People were kind of like, "Yo, just let people use the bathrooms. Like it's not that deep."
Like,
But when they figured out that the trans folks, especially youth in sports, was going to hit a nerve with
mm-hmm.
folks, especially folks in the South, where oftentimes sports is a huge
Oh
part
yeah.
of the economy, of the lifestyle of the town.
Mm-hmm,
That was when they were like, "Oh, this is a winning argument. This protecting trans youth, or excuse me,
mm-hmm.
protect not protecting them, protecting youth against the big bad trans monsters,
Right,
right?
right.
That is going to help them organize. That is going to help them gain attention. That's going
Mm-hmm.
to help them raise money. And that's going to help them stay relevant. And so now this is going to be something that, especially with this upcoming election, this is going to be a
Absolutely, it
huge,
is.
and for years to come, this is the new gay marriage.
Yeah.
And what concerns me is that two things. They're their messaging is obviously working because the fear mongering is working, as you can see,
Mm-hmm.
when it's spreading out into the masses, into the community, and folks are trampling over pride signs and fucking Target. Like you can see that this messaging works. And so I always ask myself, like, people are highly impressionable, especially ignorant people.
Oh
They
yeah.
get their information from one place and they take it and they run with it. And so what you have to look to, like, where are they getting this information from? Who's feeding them this narrative? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's only going to get uglier. And the other concern is that the Democrats, especially around trans folks in sports, have not figured out their messaging. They don't want to
Yeah.
touch it. Hakeem Jeffries basically said, we're going to leave it
Oh no.
to the folks who are, what is the word? When to the experts in the
Okay.
sports fields to determine, what the rules should be. We're not experts. We're Congress members. We don't really want to dip and dabble into that. Like
Mm,
we believe that they should deal with that. We want to be hands off. Basically, I'm not taking a stand because we don't know if this is a winning argument.
right. Right.
And so now it's like a lot of people are in fear that Democrats, more conservative Democrats, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
trans rights, they're gonna shift. They
Yeah.
might shift more into the middle depending on what this messaging is.
Yeah.
And so my concern with the Democrats is always their messaging, but the main concern of the trans youth or trans folks, because in I think it was 20 different states, they've already gotten rid of um healthcare,
Oh yeah. Gender
gender
affirming
affirming
healthcare. Yep.
healthcare for young people. So it's like, I mean, and I of course we all love our niece Zaya. So like Dwayne Wade is saying, we're leaving Florida. This is not the place
Yeah.
for us, which is a huge statement.
Huge.
Huge statement, especially since like and to see him who is like beloved in
Absolutely.
that state, in
Yeah.
especially in Miami, to be like, we gotta
Especially.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the right way to parent, but he's only one person, one
Mm-hmm.
force, and I'm just like, how do we
Yeah.
galvanize? And then what do we say to folks who are struggling with with the concept, who are like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I don't understand
Yeah.
trans folks. I don't get that. And I would say to you, you don't have to get it. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to like respect it. But I have conversations all the time with folks who are like, yeah, nah, like we haven't even. I have a friend who was like, we haven't even gotten past racism, and now we gotta hop, skip, and jump over to trans rights. Like that can't be a thing right now. Like we gotta figure that out later. And I'm like, that's not how liberation
It's
works.
not. And and there
And
are
they're
black trans
resentful of it.
people. Like there are
And
black
that
and
part.
always have been. So I mean, I feel like if
That's what
you're
Dave Chappelle misses in all of his
oh
stand-ups.
Jesus Christ, I literally can't even deal with Dave Chappelle. Like, nigga, for
I
you to be this wrong,
I still have faith in him. I do enjoy him, but he misses the mark so much there.
and it's
So
like,
much.
why don't you just shut up about trans people? Why don't you just talk about
I
something
think he
else?
will. I hope he will
This
soon.
isn't working. No, that last special where he talked about his dead trans homegirl or whatever, who I don't think was actually even really his friend or whatever he was saying. I was just like, why don't you just, what did Dave Chappelle used to talk about? What
Mm.
did what used to be the point? Like we all remember Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show was incredible, but that was a long fucking time ago. And Dave Chappelle's actions in recent years really just have me completely turned off, like because it's ignorant and you're spreading ignorance under the guise of it being jokes or whatever. Like niggas not gonna take that and run with it. People take that shit and run with it. You know how many clients I have who watch a TikTok and then come talking to me about gaslighting and trauma bonds and
Crystal,
codependent
I love you. I have that on
cats
here.
and shit, and I'm
I
like, are you
have this on
kidding?
here as the last thing that we need to talk
Is
about
it?
is
See,
pop culture
wow,
psychology. I
wow,
literally have it
wow.
on there.
This
I
is what I'm
knew it.
saying. Like, people hear something once and they run
Hmm.
with it and they don't really go back and make sure that it's real, and they don't know how to find a reliable source They
Mm-hmm.
don't, like, people, there's a real lack of media literacy, and we don't teach it in
Right.
schools. Our schools are terrible, underfunded, and too crowded, and so I don't even remember. I'm going off on my
And
tangent
but
now.
no, but and the schools, I mean, look at Florida. They can't even talk about
Oh
gender or
yeah, right.
sexuality
Banning books and shit from libraries. I'm
until
like,
the 12th grade.
this is
After the
insane.
child graduates. So
Yeah.
if a child comes to a teacher and says, I am struggling, or I feel that I'm not in the right body, this isn't my body, this is not my gender, or I
Yeah.
think that I am gay or bi or queer or whatever,
Hmm.
that the teacher by law cannot engage in conversation with that kid. They can be jailed for it under
That is
that law.
just
Like
like,
that's
you're
crazy.
not gonna legislate the homosexuality out of people. You're never ever gonna be able to do that. This is a losing fight. And if you pay attention to history, that is very clear. And yet people are just really devoted to their ignorance. They are, and I don't get it because, like, I was born in Louisiana, raised in Oklahoma in a very conservative Christian home. I absolutely was transphobic growing up. Absolutely, I was. Everybody around me was. I had to learn and do better.
So how did you do that? Because that's I want to be solution oriented.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, so this was in like the early 2000s when I got over my dumb shit, and there's so much more out there now that I really don't know what's taking the rest of y'all so long. Like, this was before social media was
Mm-hmm.
huge and all this, but part of it was leaving the tiny, well, not tiny, Tulsa is not tiny, but leaving the town that I lived in, leaving my parents, super conservative home and their ideals, going to college, meeting new people, having my ideas challenged, and
Mm.
learning from that. That's the thing. People are challenging your ideas. You're just refusing to actually listen or read. Like, you have to be open to having your mind changed when you receive new information. You have to be open to it.
Mm.
Like,
That's a bar.
you can
Because we sit in echo
position.
chambers.
Yes. And so you can position an idea to me that I've never heard of before, and doesn't mean I'm automatically going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe that, because I don't, this is it's the TikTok problem. So, but I know enough to know how to look it up for myself and
Mm-hmm.
not just find sources or YouTube videos. My God, when people cite a YouTube video, I'm just like, you have lost the plot already. But, like, not just
YouTube
looking for things.
University, baby. It's
Oh
real.
no, it is, and it's
I wish
horrible.
Shati was
It's
here because
horrible.
Shati loves YouTube. She will go down that YouTube rabbit hole, baby, and will come
YouTube,
up
no,
like
YouTube is great if you want to, like, make your own natural hair
bookshelf.
gel out of fucking flaxseed or something.
That
Like,
part.
it's that shit, right?
Mhm.
But some of y'all are talking about, like, how the vaccine is making your children, I don't know, autistic or something. It's like, you have got to get off YouTube. But yeah, knowing how to actually look up sources and not just looking for something that will confirm the bias you already have, but being open to the very real possibility that you have been wrong about something in your life.
Right.
That is very real. It's very possible. And, like, I think this is something that I really appreciate about grad school is, like, I am learning so much about my own internalized biases around depression, mental health issues that I have, and then also just how much severe mental illnesses, personality, and severe mood disorders, just what kind of effect that has on a person. Like, so that's just, like, one example of, like, continuing education, like, very literally continuing my education, but people are not even open to learning something new. They are committed to staying ignorant, and that was never me.
Mm.
I just thought, and really my reasoning was biased. It was religious based. It was like, oh, you saying God put you in the wrong body and God don't make no mistakes. Like, literally, that was my viewpoint on it. Like, gay people, I guess, but trans, that's really crazy. Like, you just spitting in God's face now. And, like, it's such an ugly, ignorant attitude. But I mean, I truly did not know any better. And once I did, I stopped being like that. It's
Because
like,
we all know God. We all we're all very clear about God. What God is, who God is, what God
Girl,
said.
no, we
Don't
don't.
get me started on here because they get mad at me when
Oh,
I
I
start talking
bet.
about white Jesus.
Oh Lord, oh
Lord,
Lord.
don't play. And I don't want to go off on a serious like another tangent, but you
Yeah.
mentioned, people going on YouTube and doing this research and like people having these biases. I was just listening to the Daily where they were talking about Chat GPT and AI and all this stuff and
Oh
how
yeah.
there are biases in that
Of
embedded in that
course.
because it's based off of human behavior. And so that
Yes.
was something that they were flagging of like you can ask Siri a question, but Siri's response is based off of some humans
Yes.
actual thinking.
Right.
Like it's programming. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily right, especially if it's not just like a factual, where is such and such.
Right.
So very
And
interesting
even
shit.
those it can sometimes get wrong. But AI,
Oh
I think
shit.
people really forget like it is artificial intelligence. This chat GPT cannot think. It is
Well,
not capable of that. And so I just, somebody had to program it. Somebody had to teach it how to say these things. And it's just the sort of bias like with the fucking hand dryers in
mhm.
bathrooms, or like sometimes sensors don't pick up black
Yeah.
skin when everybody was getting the oxygen reading things when COVID first hit. Everybody was buying those little
Oh,
things
right, right,
to
right.
where you can test your blood oxygen to
The
see
pulse
if,
ox
yes, the pulse ox thing, and how those don't work as well on darker
on
skin
black
tones.
skin.
Like this is all made by humans, which
Who are deeply
makes it
flawed.
it makes it more depressing because it's like, oh, so then this could be fixed. Y'all just don't want to. Like, the exclusion is deliberate, the racism is deliberate, the ignorance is deliberate. So that is, yeah,
By
kind of a
design,
mind fuck.
baby.
Even though I do enjoy the Snapchat AI, sometimes I go on Snapchat just to chat with the AI, and I think it's fun. The Snapchat AI told me that it's important for people to log off and touch
Are
grass.
you serious?
Yes.
I love that.
I
Shout
asked
out to
it.
that one.
I
That's
asked
the
it
only
how
one
it
I
felt
like.
about the sex AI bots. Have you heard about, not bots, but there are like AI chat apps where people do sexual things, say
I've
sexual
never
things.
interacted,
Oh
not
girl.
that I know of. I don't have like a chat
Yeah.
GP. I don't even know what is it?
Chat
GPG.
GPT. Yeah, the kids are
I
using it
don't.
to write their papers. And I'm like,
Oh my
what y'all don't
God.
understand is that this isn't good. It's like
You need certain
this
skill
isn't a
set.
well-written paper is the problem. It's like typing a paragraph into Google and then being like, okay, Google translate it. And then
Right.
copy and pasting that and being like no girl, most of the time these things are gonna like literally translate like word for word, and you're
Hmm.
not gonna say it the way
That's
somebody
not
who
how.
speaks
Yeah.
that language would, right? And so I feel like, I've seen some stuff come from chat GPT, and I'm like, this is for DNF students. This is not.
Well, don't get. Uh-oh. It's for the
Sorry,
bus drivers.
sorry, no,
That's
oh
what you're saying?
Lord, don't
I ain't bringing
start.
that up now.
Please don't start. I don't even know really what happened with the
I
bus
don't
driver
want, please,
situation,
Jesus
but
Christ. We got so many voicemails about that, and I was like,
oh
I'm not talking about that
God.
no more.
Oh yes, I bet you not. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, I think is part of the problem. A huge part of the problem is that people are not willing to learn. They want to stay the way they are. I think there's this fear around being wrong.
Mm.
And I'm not sure why exactly. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what people's issue. Like nobody wants to be wrong, but everybody is wrong at some point. And there's just, would you really rather stay ignorant and not adjust yourself or your beliefs or your understanding at any point? Like you would just really rather not? Like when non-binary people started becoming more in like the mainstream conversation, I very openly said, I don't know about them, they, them pronouns. Like that feels uncomfortable to me.
Mm.
I don't really like the idea of calling one person they or them. And then like 6 months later, I think I came back to that tweet and was like, okay, yeah, I'm over it. Like, I
And we
realized it's
do
not that
it.
fucking right. Like, first of all, we do it all the
We do it
time,
in language. We're like, oh,
all
they're at the
the
door.
time, right? So that's why when conservatives are like, oh, pronouns, fuck that, like there's no pronouns in the Bible. Like, okay, so you don't know what a pronoun is then, is what you're
Yeah,
saying. To me,
right.
we use pronouns all the time. We use they, them for one person all the time. And this is just a willful ignorance, not wanting to learn anything new.
What I will say is when it comes to pronouns, rather, there has to be, I hope, not there has to be, can't put those demands on folks, but I guess my hope would be that there's a little bit of grace or a lot of bit of grace when if someone uses the wrong pronoun and it's
Mm-hmm.
not deliberate at all and they're making you know like people's intentions and they're
Mm-hmm.
making effort because it honestly you're relearning language and you're recalibrating.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've done that and it felt terrible and immediately corrected it, whatever, but there wasn't a whole lot of grace and I was like, well, fuck. And it made me so defensive, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm trying, but and then there wasn't any room, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
there's no
Yeah.
room between us. Now
Right.
we're both defensive. So it's interesting. But yeah, I was writing down some of what you were saying. I was like,
Oh
oh, that's
Lord.
a possible title for the episode. But all
Oh,
right,
okay.
moving right
Fun,
along.
fun. So, but yeah,
Have
people
have
don't
you
just. Hold on,
Go
wait. Have I
ahead.
what? No, you
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
I
you go
wasn't. No,
ahead.
because I wasn't gonna. I was gonna go to another thing. If you're not done, keep
No,
going.
I'm good. I'm good. Let's
Not an
choo
awkward
choo right
moment.
along. Oh, girl, you're fine.
Okay. Have you heard about Gladys?
Night?
I love you. I knew you were gonna say that. Gladys the orca is tired of our shit, Crystal.
Who the fuck is that? I have to Google
Exactly.
this.
Gladys the orca
A
is
whale?
orchestrating attacks on boats. I'm serious now, and teaching her children to do the same. They are literally jumping boats. They fucking them up in the ocean off the
Gladys.
coast
Oh my gosh,
of,
it's
I
right
believe,
here.
Portugal. See? Gladys's
Wow.
name, her full name is White Gladys. It gets even trickier. Okay? It just, when I saw that, I said, good Lord. Y'all want this to be funny. Now, I don't know if I blame her. Gladys apparently has been traumatized by a
Yeah.
previous encounter with humans.
Yep.
And
Sounds right.
due to overfishing, chemical pollution, and habitat loss, there has been a decrease in the amount of prey available for killer whales for these
Right.
orcas. And
Yeah.
without enough prey, killer whales have experienced a decrease in their reproductive
Yes.
systems.
Oh, see.
And
So
it has
now it's
increased their,
biology.
yes, it's increased their mortality rates. There are only, guess how many orcas there left in the world, child? They are severely at risk of extinction. Guess.
44.
No, Jesus Christ, 50,000.
Oh,
Jesus, not
it's a lot of them
44.
niggas.
No, but the ecosystem is like
No, I'm bullshitting. That's
suffering.
terrible. Yeah. I love that even whales learn. Like
Thank you.
Gladys said, I've noticed that every time these boats come around, all of a sudden it's less fish. My kids is hungry. Niggas is snapping pictures.
They got me in
dumping
nets.
dumping chemicals and shit in my fucking house. Gladys said, I'm gonna teach these niggas.
I read this and was like, I'm with Gladys.
I am, absolutely. Good for
There,
her.
there was a meme with Free Willy and it said "fuck them boats," and I was like, yeah, that's right, fuck them boats. It made me think about Free Willy,
Oh
like
my
you know what, this
God.
was wrong.
Yeah.
And speaking, just like you said, speaking of learning, are we not animals? Why can the
Yeah.
orcas learn?
Yeah.
And our dumbasses are sitting here repeating the
Refuse.
same shit every day.
Refuse.
It's the
I-
definition of insanity.
I'm so mad because I looked it up and
You got to hear the people talk about it.
It
It's
says-
hilarious. Go to YouTube. It's
Okay.
fucking funny. They're like, and then she was just throwing her body into the boat. They're sinking them bitches. And it's like
I saw it
a
was
four of
29
them.
attacks in the past 4 months. She is really tired of y'all shit.
She teaching them.
Yeah.
Now there are some scientists saying, "Oh, orcas are really playful, so we think they're just playing." No, they not. No, they not.
No, they not.
That's not for games. I said these orcas are not fucking playing with us.
Like maybe once. But the fact that it's happened 30 times in 4 months, Gladys is sick of y'all's shit.
Y'all better get y'all fucking boats and shit out this fucking ocean and stop
Oh,
playing.
man.
Wait
Oh,
till
man.
the whales start. What did them big ass whales learn?
Right? Right?
I don't want no problems with them.
Yeah,
None.
no. I mean, I was never in danger of going out. I don't, whale watching don't even sound like something I would want to do. That don't even sound like,
It's boring. You don't see no
that's
damn whales. You just
that's
watch
really
the
not for
water.
me. It's truly not for me. So, but I'm fully in favor of people defending their homes, and humans are doing terrible things to the oceans. And yeah, this is at this point it's evolutionary. Gladys said, "Y'all are threatening the food."
White Gladys.
Now, why is she white Gladys? They could have called her Big Gladys.
Say something. White Gladys took me out.
Not y'all got me caping for a white woman, but listen, she's making some points. This is a threat to their species. Yes, they're going to try to eliminate you. I suggest y'all leave them niggas alone. That's what I suggest y'all do. I suggest y'all, wherever the whales is at, wherever the killer sharks and shit is at, I suggest y'all go home.
It's gonna
Don't
be
do this
like
no more.
in Black Panther 2 when them water creatures came out. It's gonna end up being like that.
Oh yeah, Namor and his niggas when they came, yeah.
It's gonna get tricky.
And beat Wakanda's ass at first too. Well, first of all, for them to
I didn't
even
wanna say that.
sneak, no, but for them to even sneak there in the first place was wild. But
I didn't
then
wanna say that,
for
but
that, no,
they
they
didn't
beat
stand a chance, man.
ass. They beat ass. I said,
If it wasn't for that little truce,
yeah, yeah.
no, it
Which
wouldn't
I
work.
mean, after you kill my mama, we really don't have nothing to talk about.
I had issues with it. I said, this doesn't, I get it,
Yeah.
but I don't get it.
Yeah, because I don't know how Shuri didn't take his life when she had the opportunity. I really
Shuri,
don't.
Shuri, grow up. Let's go.
Not
Get
grow
it done.
up.
You're childish.
Grow up and murder this man. It's what he deserves.
Didn't feel true. Didn't feel true to Wakanda. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
But I
yeah.
guess that's how the Black Panther was. And speaking of water,
Okay.
moving right along to pop culture, I heard through the grapevine that you went to go see The Little Mermaid.
I did. I actually
Please.
went,
No spoilers, but tell us how it was.
no, see. Did I break my cup?
No, you broke it.
No, this is a $50 Disneyland cup. No.
I'm so sorry.
No, my dumb ass. Okay. Well, anyway,
I'm sorry.
I love you because when we were talking about Little Mermaid on our show, it's called The Read. Did we? I feel like we didn't even do an introduction for me. You just assume everybody knows who I am.
Everybody know if you don't know the fuck
No,
she
they
is, you as
don't.
bad as me. We didn't. I did introduce you once. All right, everybody. We are an hour and 7
no, nigga,
minutes.
right?
in.
We're in the show, girl. Fuck it. But,
I'm gonna ask them at the beginning. I'm gonna do it after we get
it's
off.
literally
Like y'all,
fine. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm like, we got a fucking star. You don't know who this is? What the hell's wrong with y'all?
When we talked about it this week on our show, I said, "Oop, okay, you guys, spoiler alert for Little Mermaid." And Kid Fury was like, "Bitch, that movie came out 30 years ago." Like,
Oh, I guess that's true.
that's what I said. I was like, "Oh."
No, but I heard there are some Well, I
There are
heard.
some twists to the new
Yeah, I
adaptation.
heard.
Things that I really liked. I really I appreciate the ways that they updated this movie. I think it's very, very good. Extremely well done. I've seen it twice.
You've seen it twice.
Yes, I went with Asante. Did I go with Asante first? Yeah, I think Asante and I went first. And then I took, well, it was supposed to be Noah and one of her little friends, but her friend couldn't make it at the last minute. So Noah and Jade and I went yesterday.
Well, Jade told me how good it was, and she said she wanted to see it again.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very
Alright.
good. And Hallie is doing her good singing.
I heard she's a star,
Oh,
but I heard
yes.
she's acting too.
Oh, yeah, she is. No, she's so good. It's not like, I'm watching another, teenage pop star try to be an actress. She is good in this
Wow.
movie. Yes. It's so well done. I really, really enjoyed it.
Wow. Well,
Yes, and I got Noah a Ariel Barbie, and she wanted to sit with me at the movies, and not her mom,
'cause
which
you
Jay did not
spoiled
care
her.
at all.
I'm sorry, you spoiled her
Name
terribly.
one time
A
Name
girl.
one time.
Every I got Noah and Ariel Barbie. Noah has a fucking Barbie playhouse with an elevator, a car, and
So
everything the fuck
that's
else.
very common for little girls to have.
Child,
Well, I
you
mean,
spoil that girl.
she did order 2 dinners and a Shirley Temple at the movies.
Are you serious?
She did. And then pressed the button talking about, ask the waitress, can I get a blanket? I said, now listen, this isn't Amazon.
See,
You're not just going
see,
to press the button and ask for any old damn thing, but she
I
did.
love abundance on a black child, but little girl, she tried to order extra chicken with us. Remember when we was out?
Yeah. Oh, yes, when we went
She's
to
like,
that.
girl,
We're like, you are not. Who do you think you are? Like, are you
ASAP
paying?
Noah,
I said, are you paying?
where your cards at?
Where's your card? Right. Because you ordering shit like you got the ducats.
Child. She said,
But
mine,
yeah,
she got it.
I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Not yet. I will see it.
Girl,
I've
you
been
got
a little
to.
busy. Now, The Little Mermaid is near and dear to my heart.
Mm.
Little Mermaid was the movie that made me want to sing as a young girl. I used
Oh,
to sit in a hula hoop on the floor and jump from my knees to another hula hoop. Because remember in the last scene where Ursula's striking her down with the like electricity in the original one, and she's jumping from like spot to spot.
got you.
I would be
Oh,
recreating. I
how
used to be
cute.
screaming part of your world in the tub. I think that's why I take a bath every day to this day, every evening, no matter
Yeah.
how tired I am. I will get in that tub.
Because you like to pretending that you're a mermaid.
Yeah, and
That's so sweet.
you know, my 21st birthday, my mother, it came out of the vault with Disney, and my mom bought it for me, and I still have
Oh,
the DVD. I don't have a DVD player, but I won't get rid of the DVD. Near and dear. Now,
okay.
there was someone who had some thoughts on this here Little Mermaid.
Was
Reading
it
this is
Jay?
just funny. No.
Oh.
Marcus Ryder, an influential British campaigner
Who?
who also chairs the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, celebrated the casting of Hallie. How you say that child name?
It's Hallie.
Halle Bailey. I always want to say Halle Berry. Halle Bailey,
Right.
but took issue with the film's glossy depiction of racial harmony. Ryder said, The Little Mermaid appears to be set in the 18th century at a time of African chattel slavery. I'm sorry, this is funny to me. He
Okay.
said, Where are the slaves? Wait, this
Under
shit,
the fucking sea?
this fucking, the think pieces. Y'all think piecing me to death. All right, let me finish. But the fictional Caribbean islanders close to the Atlantic live in a free world, free from human rights atrocities.
Wow.
He said, and I quote, I do not think we do our children any favors by pretending that slavery didn't exist. He wrote on a blog titled Disney's The Little Mermaid, Caribbean Slavery and Telling the Truth to Children.
Who?
Setting this fantastical story in a time and place is literally
Oh.
the equivalent of setting a love story between Jews and Gentiles excuse me, in 1940
Are
Germany and
you
ignoring the
fucking
Jewish
kidding?
Holocaust. Wait, I'm not done. Ryder acknowledged that The Little Mermaid is fantasy and the
Yes.
story does not need to be how do I say that? Assiduously faithful to history. But he
Right.
argued that children are not well served by overlooking the past. Keep in mind, he has a 6-year-old that he took to see the movie
Okay.
and probably went home and was like, there should have been slaves.
We have there's so much slave content though. Like, there are so many movies about enslaved Africans. Why did an adaptation of a children's film, I'm not understanding why, as somebody who's seen the movie twice, I really don't know how you sit through it and be like, you know what this movie was missing?
The slaves.
Niggas in chains.
Yo,
Who acts like that?
he does.
Oh,
I'm laughing because I think
It's
you have to laugh from keep from
ridiculous.
crying. Yeah, I think the think pieces. You don't always have to say something, y'all. We don't all, even me and Shot. Sometimes we should shut up. Shut up. Like, you don't always have to have an opinion. Shut the
Not
fuck
on
up.
everything. I mean, like, do you think mermaids are real? Like, what?
They were real enough to him. Okay.
All of the girls, the King Triton and his daughters, it's like a, it's just a hodgepodge of races. It's, a little bit of something in there for everybody. Like,
Hmm.
it isn't supposed to. This is a children's movie.
It shows how traumatized we all are. It really does. It shows how, like, without having the trauma in the movie, it's like we
Yeah,
don't even know how to identify with it.
right.
Like, if it's not there, then
Yeah,
it's not real to me. And that is deeply sad. And and
right.
and I'm laughing, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Hallie's great grandfather was in attendance at one of the showings. I don't know if you saw this,
Mm-mm.
and he was talking like I think maybe it was his niece or somebody was talking about how, like, yo, his father picked cotton, his mother
Wow.
like farmed tobacco, and now his grandchild is here
Yeah,
starring in the biggest film in the world right now. It's
right.
like yes, it's important to know our history, but there are so many other stories to tell that involve black and
Like,
brown folks.
come on. Does it always have to be trauma? Jesus God. Like, I hope Disney comes out and is like, actually, the movie is set in 1300, and so none of the islands were colonized yet. Like, do you really think there were no villages where black people just sold fucking fruit by the sea or whatever? Like, why? Again, how do you watch this and be like, yeah,
If that's the case, then
come
why the
on.
fuck didn't the Avengers get rid of slavery? Where was they at? What the fuck was Captain America doing? If we
Come
really
on.
want to talk about it, y'all want to
Listen,
time
that's
travel for that, motherfuckers. Okay? Every movie we could do that, baby. Every single one.
oh, you better tell the truth up in here today. Like, come
Why
on,
the Little
man.
Mermaid? Can that lady sing? Just let her sing.
And I don't think people would be levying all these criticisms if Ariel was played by a white girl.
Nope.
Like, did you say this about well, I don't even know if the people of the island were even in the original. I haven't seen the original Little Mermaid in so long, so I don't even know if they were even
There weren't,
depicted.
I mean, the only islander that you really thought was an islander was
Was
Red, and it was
Sebastian?
Sebastian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which bless David Diggs' heart, but I don't know why they didn't hire somebody who was actually from an island. Like,
Oh no.
why would y'all do that? I
Oh
mean, and
no.
his accent sounds fine to my American ears, but my very Jamaican co-host went
Was
on.
like,
I can only call it a tirade. He was irate.
But
So yeah, but I don't get this. It's not.
well,
Just be serious. Come on, man.
I'm praying for Marcus Ryder's healing.
It's just
And
weird.
this is listen, it's more than weird. And he's British. That's another thing. It's
The
like,
original colonizers. The Brits
make
and the
that make
French can't
sense.
say nothing about nothing. Y'all shut the fuck up.
Listen, that's why them orcas acting up.
Cause they sick of y'all
They
shit.
sick of y'all shit. You know
Yeah.
who else's shit I'm sick of? Very disappointed in The Root. This
The
might
root.
surprise you. I love theroot.com. Love the Grio. I love all the folks.
What did they do?
The Root recently put out a list of celebrity whites who
Uh-uh.
they quote, we would totally invite to the Black Summer Cookout.
Good fucking night. What is a black summer cookout?
Right. So even when I read it's so much to so much there. Even when I read that, I was like, And this is coming from someone with a white mom. Like, I read that and was like, who the fuck who wrote this? And who wrote it is Stephanie Holland and Candace McDuffie, which is getting
Who
tricky
are
for
those
me.
people? Right.
Need to Google them.
Mm,
Now,
yeah.
I immediately saw this on Twitter and responded, y'all got to be better than this. Because I personally feel, and this might be a little controversial,
I mean, I'm looking them up. Candace McDuffie is black.
it was Stephanie Holland doing. Let me look her up.
I'm looking them up. Did
I
they
love you
delete
for
this? I
that.
can't even find it.
No, baby, it's here. I sent you the link right there. Ciao. Mm-mm.
What a mess. But see,
I
the
just,
root is not even black owned no more.
is it not?
No, the root was sold. Yeah, the root,
Are you fucking kidding me that the root's not black owned?
GO Media, is an American media holding company that runs Gizmodo, Kotaku, Deadspin, Jezebel, the AV Club, the Takeout, the Onion. Yeah, it's
Wow.
not. The root is not. It is not Henry Louis Gates's website no more, Charles. It's
Wow.
not.
That's
Yikes.
interesting. Well, a couple things. The celebrities that they have are Bernie Sanders, Adele, Brie Larson, Jane Fonda, fuck with her, Melissa McCarthy, etc., etc. Bull from Star Wars, Mark Hamill,
What?
Lynn Manuel Miranda, which is
He's
hilarious
not
to me.
white.
Well, people would say he's yeah, anyway. Travis Kelsey, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman,
Oh, here it
Daniel
is.
Radcliffe, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, like Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren. Anyway, that's the end of the list.
Stephanie
I
Holland
think
is also black.
okay.
Yikes. Okay.
I think that black spaces should be black spaces.
Yeah,
And I think I know that might be controversial coming from me. And it's not to say that other folks are not welcome, but it's this constant idea of like
yep.
this invitation of like white folks
Yeah.
come into
Come
our
be in our
space, come,
space. Yep.
come in, and it's like, yo, what are we doing? Like, why do you need to do that? Why can't, like, if they come, fine, like, all right, but like, why do we have to extend that olive branch so
Right.
much? It's like, I don't know, it just sits really funny to me, and I also feel like some things should there should be some gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Some things should be
Yeah.
sacred.
Yeah.
And I feel nuts saying that as a
Mm-hmm.
mixed black woman,
Yeah.
but I feel that so viscerally in my bones. Like when I read it, I'm like, nah,
Oh yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Cause I think for me, the rationale is I know how I feel when I'm in a black space and how relaxed I feel, how in my body I feel, how I feel like I can speak the way I speak.
Uh-huh.
I feel seen, I feel safe, and I know how I feel when other folks enter that space.
Yeah.
And I'm very cognizant of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes, which I'm not proud of, it's even in a like, oh, let me protect you from the conversations that we're having so we don't hurt your feelings. And I'm like, yo, fuck your feelings, yo. I was at an event, not an event, but I was at like a cookout out the other day and I was talking about privilege. This came up like, and I forgot that there was like a white person there, and I kept saying like, yo, I'm related to some of these people. You keep saying they feel like they should have this. It's like, no, they don't feel like they should have it. They have it.
Mm-hmm.
It is theirs.
Yeah.
It is. And then I looked at like the white guy and was like, oh shit, and like tried to like make it less. And then I caught myself like, why are you
Yeah.
mincing your words for him? And he was with the shits. So I was like, oh, okay.
Of course he
But like,
was.
yeah, like he was completely with the shits. Like, yeah, don't you understand? Like, there's so much privilege. But it's just so interesting to me. And it is deeply disappointing how it seems like every fucking summer somebody got to come up with a list or
Yeah.
somebody's got to talk about some white person who just really didn't go above and beyond. They just were a good fucking human, maybe.
Maybe.
And they get to come to the cookout. It's like Jane Fonda, I love her. She been with the
Sure.
Black Panthers. She was helping fund them. Like she was been with the shits.
Yeah.
But we don't have to do that. We don't have to put
Mm-mm.
these folks on a pedestal and
Right.
beg them to see us and to validate us.
Right. And I'm sure Jane would be like, you know, the sheer amount of sodium you people eat, I won't be able to make it. But y'all have a good time.
He was like, maybe you should think about a different veganism. No.
Well, I love that you feel so passionately about this because it's actually super on brand for your people. to be like, how dare y'all let these crackers up into our spaces? But it's
No,
true.
what's up? Why are we like that? Help, therapist,
I have a theory
please.
that biracial people who are mixed with black and identify as black biracials, I feel like it's almost like compensating for their
Mm,
for their white
God
ancestry.
damn, Crystal. Jesus fucking Christ.
Y'all be the main ones going super
We be Amanda
hard.
Seals in it. She goes
Listen,
the fuck
one thing
off.
Amanda
Like,
Seals is gonna do is cut that fucking front facing camera on and cuss white people out and post it on Instagram and not give
and
a
then
damn.
have her head poking in
Oh
like,
yeah.
like Amanda, fix the goddamn, fix the phone, girl. Hold the phone up
I
straight.
don't even know if she's biracial. She might just be light skinned, but
No, I think she's biracial. Did I make that? Did I just
I really have
no?
no idea. But
Amanda Seals.
it is so funny to me when light skinned and biracial people do that, because
I
it's
mean,
like,
it might be some of that, but I really think it's because we're so fucking aware. I don't think she's biracial actually,
yeah, I
but
didn't
I
think
think that
so.
we're so aware of the discrepancy
Hmm.
because we're forced to be because you live in it, you live with it every
Right.
day that you're like, no, something's wrong here.
Hmm.
And if you're not a shit person, you're going to be like, this is wrong. And
Yeah.
so I am vehemently
Hmm.
going to stand up for what I believe in. Or maybe we just want to be invited to the cookout. Oh God, no. Let
Well,
me in.
well, I mean, you don't have to be invited. Like, you're hosting it. You are one of us.
Yo, do you hear this fucking shade? Everybody. The
But
way Crystal gives good shade and then is over here fixing her fucking hair. If you're not on Patreon,
I know. I'm so sorry. I keep fidgeting with myself because I'm never on video, so this feels so awkward.
no, I
Like,
thought you were being a smartass. Like, oh
oh
no, you're
no,
a,
I'm fidgeting because I'm like, I'm looking at myself and I
you
look
look
crazy.
beautiful.
But yeah, y'all really be meaning that shit. Y'all be going in, and I mean, you're not wrong. Is the thing. You're not wrong at all. Why is the Root publishing an article talking about white people we would invite to this fictional cookout? Like, girl, it doesn't
Black summer
exist.
cookout
Like,
specifically.
why don't you just say white people we fuck with and
That
leave it at that?
yes,
Oh,
white
white
people
people
who
that I want to invite to the Black Summer Cookout. Like,
yeah,
y'all don't even sound black writing that. Like, did a white
right.
person write the fucking headline? Because that don't even sound like something we would say.
At
And
all.
where I'm from, white people say cookout, black people say barbecue. So I've always hated the word cookout
Black people say
because,
cookout on the East Coast. They say
yeah,
cookout.
right. But where I'm from, white people say cookout, niggas say
Mm-hmm.
barbecue. So every time people be like, oh, who's invited to the cookout? I'm like, not me. Because the cookout got raisins in the potato salad and y'all can keep it. Like,
I
that's
have to
not for me
find.
no damn way. So,
There
oh
was a meme
man.
somebody sent me too. What did they say? Raisins can be in the sun, but not the potato salad. Something
Yeah,
stupid, but
that's right.
it was written in such a funny way, and I
I
messed
mean,
it
and
up.
that's accurate. And so when it's always a shame when black media gets bought up by these giant media conglomerates that are then gonna
Hmm.
try to make the content as palatable to white people as possible, because that's always what happens. And I know the Root used to do really good work, like really good
Yep.
reporting, had really great journalists, and I don't know, this just sounds like some clickbaity, slideshowy bullshit. Like,
It wasn't well written.
let's
It
get
wasn't
the
a good
engagement
article.
up. I bet the
Yeah,
engagement on that, but I bet the engagement on that tweet is crazy because I'm
proud.
sure people were quote tweeting and replying and spreading it to their
No,
followers. And
only 42 retweets. Oh no, never mind. 2,061 quote tweets.
goddamn.
Let me see. Is everybody just putting Dr. Umar underneath it? Oh my God. I love people so much. Also, if you haven't watched Dr. Umar talk about the Little Mermaid, please go do yourself a favor and crack the fuck up. Because he is
I
furious
don't
over that interracial
support
relationship.
Dr. Umar's
Shout out to the
content.
God, Dr. Umar.
Oh
Yo,
no, I knew we
I
were going
don't
to have a problem on this
know.
show eventually. I knew it.
Listen, I don't support Dr. Umar, but he's from Philly and he's the most
You just told
Philly
niggas to go watch a Dr. Umar
ignorant
video.
because it's funny, yo. You just have to let, yo, Dr. Umar cracks me up. He's
You as a
so
biracial supporting
ridiculous.
Dr. Umar is really funny.
It's hilarious. It's so like when we the way that Shanti and I will send each other Dr. Umar stuff and crack up
Wow,
because he
part of the
means it.
problem. Yeah, he does.
He, yo, it's so funny. You don't
Yeah.
think he's funny?
I mean, I like the "you may not bring your white wife." Like that was funny. Um,
You don't think he's funny?
I mean, no, I think
That's
he's ignorant
sometimes that shit
about a
be
lot of.
slapping.
I mean, I could not believe it when I found out he really did have a PhD in like psychology too. I was like, oh shit. See,
Wait,
this
does he?
is yes,
He's a real doctor,
he's a
doctor?
real PhD. I don't know from where,
I'm telling you, you
but
can't get the Philly out of some people now.
oh
Like
yeah,
he is a typical man. I think that's why. He's a typical like hard-headed
yeah.
ass man from Philly.
He's your
Truly.
cousin. He's your ex-boyfriend.
He is.
You saying that he's from Philly
I've
honestly
dated
answers
Dr.
every
Umar.
question. Of course you have. What choice did you have?
All right. I was in the Hotep world wrapped
That's
up.
Philly niggas. That's Philly
Yes. I was like,
niggas
yes, King.
completely.
You are right, King. You talking about overcompensating. That was back in the baby.
Girl, and I
I
know
was
they
like,
loved
let me
you.
into the club, please.
I know they loved you. I know they do. Mm-hmm.
All right, it's getting tricky.
Well,
She about to tear me up. No, I don't think I actually. I don't know. All right, moving right along. Pop culture
okay.
psychology.
Oh,
I have
God.
something that I would like to read to
Speaking
you.
of
We're
Dr.
gonna
Umar.
wrap up soon. I won't take up all your time.
Okay.
Pop culture. This is a post that I saw on Instagrams because that's where I do my research. And
Jesus God.
pop culture psychology is not psychology, which is really interesting because I got this on like pop culture uh, social medias.
Right.
I don't know how to say this king or queen's name or non-binary royalty. It's Seerut Serut K Chwala. This is
Word.
the
Yeah.
person who put this together. But they said everyone you dislike is not a narcissist.
Thank you.
Every unpleasant experience is not trauma. Having needs does not make you codependent. Disagreement is not gaslighting.
Yes.
Conflict is not abuse.
Oh, yes.
Taking offense is not being triggered. Everything does not need to be normalized.
Woo.
Speaking like an HR memo is not self-awareness. And it made me think of you. Because
Oh,
I saw
yes.
you tearing the people up. You was like, y'all, this is not what trauma bonding means.
It's
Please help us.
not.
Crystal, what would you say to folks who are literally, because this is my biggest fear. I have another podcast called Can't Afford Therapy.
And I love it. I was like,
For
oh
real?
my God. Not only is the show so good, the title's perfect. I'm like, I'm so mad I didn't think of that.
Oh my God, that means so much to me. I didn't come up with the title. Shout out to Savon. But
Okay. Well, it's so good.
it means so much to me because I was terrified of it. And my biggest thing about it was we have to establish that we are not therapists. We should not be anybody's resource for therapy. We are literally three people sitting down and figuring it out. And when we talk about these topics, we have to first define them clinically so that we are talking about them
Yes.
and they're rooted in like what the reality of it is. Because
Right.
I'm sick of being told I'm gaslighting somebody because they don't like what I said.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
That
no,
isn't what gaslighting
that's not how it
is.
works.
Not at all.
But also, it's dangerous. I feel like it's great that we have all of this information floating around, but it also, what I've been researching, and I was reading an article on CNN about how so many young people are self-diagnosing and telling themselves, I have anxiety, I have all of these disorders, and maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not here to judge anyone, but they're seeing this rapid pace of like anxiety medications being given out, which also is deeply connected to capitalism, which is a
Yeah.
whole other thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like, but people are going onto TikTok to learn about mental health.
Yes.
And from folks who don't necessarily have all the tools or all the information.
Yeah.
And so my wish to folks online would be that there were more questions asked. Like our thing here is like, we're going to leave you with more questions than answers because we don't know shit. But at least we want you to go out and have a thought about whatever the fuck we said and
Mm-hmm.
determine how you feel about it.
Yeah.
As someone who is currently in the thick
Oh yeah.
of studying this information, you're in school, you are actually talking to clients,
Mm-hmm.
providing mental health care.
Yes.
How do you feel about this and what should we do about it?
Oh well, it's a very complicated conversation. Because like you said, on the one hand, it is good that people are getting more into mental health, learning more about different mental illnesses and things like that. But then you have, and oh God, okay, so let me try to organize these thoughts. So that is good. The TikToks are a problem. Because anybody can do it. When anybody can just put out psychology content
Mm-hmm.
and, not show that they have any education, have any degrees, have a license, even know what they're talking about, that's an issue because things on social media that go viral tend to be, very straightforward and sound very snappy and quick. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if your boyfriend is doing blah, blah, that's a trauma response, honey. And what you better not do is let him gaslight you into so that's the stuff that goes viral. That's the
Words,
stuff that gets
words.
picked up. But the problem is that almost none of these conditions are that straightforward. It's never that simple. The conversation is complicated. It is complex. And people don't want to or don't have the capacity to have those kind of conversations on social media. That's not what gets picked up and goes
Mm-hmm.
viral 1,000 times. That's not what my clients see and then come talk to me about how, they're in a trauma bond with their brother because they were both abused when they were kids. Like that isn't.
Is a trauma bond is when you bond to your abuser,
It's
right?
when you right, yes. But trauma bond is one of the very many psychology terms that people have kind of heard once or twice and then they just decided that they knew what it meant and that was
Mm-hmm.
that. So but so there is all that. There's a lot of people who are flat out unqualified who are talking and taking up space. There's a lot of Iyanlas in the world. And then there's also people
She
who
does not have a degree
she does
in.
not. She is not a therapist
Right. No, I
at
didn't
all.
think so. Okay, yeah.
No. But there are people who are therapists who do have the degrees. There are Dr. Umars out there. There are people who have their license and are still people with their own biases, and those biases come out in their work. Like
Mm-hmm.
so,
Can you ever, like, because you're in the thick of this,
yeah,
can you ever circumvent your own biases as you do your work, or is it
absolutely.
something that you have to be aware? Okay.
Well, you have to be aware that you have the bias. Awareness is the first step. But, from there, especially as a therapist, you should be the first one to realize, oh, I'm applying blah, blah, blah to this. Like we're trained to be aware of countertransference, especially, which is when we may be projecting our own feelings onto the client. And
Mm.
so that also takes a certain amount of awareness. So you would think therapists would have more self-awareness than maybe the average person and then work to undo these biases or not let them infiltrate their work. But that is not always the case. And like the holistic psychologist is one who's extremely popular, and honestly, a lot of her content is good, and a lot of it I'm just like, I don't know about this. And apparently she has like a very sketchy kind of background with some racist stuff going on I'm not entirely sure about, but like her views on medication especially, I'm just like, oh girl, I don't know, this feels more like your own biases as opposed to like what the research shows. So that's the thing, we're never saying like, oh, science has proven this, we're at least, oh god, see, there's so much to say, but it's evidence-based practices. That's what we're doing. We're not just, when people are like, oh, therapy, when you could just talk to a friend, your friend doesn't know psychology. Your friend does not know techniques. Like we're literally using evidence-based practices in our own theoretical orientation in order to help
Mm-hmm.
other people get through their shit. And so I I don't know, man. It's such a big problem. It's
Oh,
such a
look
big
at you.
problem. I know. I'm literally. It's honestly kind of stressful because I can tell when my clients have been consuming pop psychology, Instagram or
Mm.
TikToks, or when they've been. I said this too. A lot of these podcasts where niggas get on a mic and say something dumb about how young women need to act. I see that in my clients too. They're watching whatever shows these are and then coming in talking about how their
The
problem is
Kevin
that they're not.
Samuels podcast?
Yeah, like, oh, well, my problem is that, like, my boyfriend, our energy, and he just doesn't allow me to rest in my divine femininity. And I'm like, girl.
My soft life.
So, yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. But, like, gaslighting is more than just somebody lying to you.
What is it?
Gaslighting is the very deliberate attempt of one person to fuck up another person's perception of what is real.
Mm-hmm.
You are being deliberately manipulated and controlled psychologically.
Right.
And so then you end up doubting your memory. Like, did these things really happen to me? Am I, like, perceiving things correctly? Am I losing my mind? It's not just your boyfriend said he didn't eat your leftover fried rice, but he did. Like, it's not that simple. It's a deliberate form of psychological abuse. And so it's like, I mean, and earlier, even you said that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and expecting a different outcome. That is not the definition of
It's
insanity.
not.
It's just a fun quote. It's just a fun quote. Everybody loves that
What is
quote.
the definition
I
of
love it.
insanity?
Oh,
I
girl.
think that's my definition of insanity.
and see, you can make a TikTok and be like,
Let me
so
see.
what y'all don't know about therapy is that the definition of insanity is blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that is just a fun saying that everybody loves. See, it's quick and it's snappy and it's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
That is what people remember. And so,
Wow.
and that's human nature. That's
Let
fine.
me fix this. The
No.
definition of insanity is the state of being seriously mentally
Having
ill.
an unsound
Madness.
mind. Yes.
Also,
Yes.
extreme foolishness. So I feel like that's fitting in there a little bit. Extreme foolishness is here.
Man. And I mean, and then the conversation around self-diagnosing, I actually think self-diagnosis can be extremely valid, but you need to know, like go grab the DSM then, girl. Like, go. Don't
DSM.
the the DSM is our big official therapy book of mental disorders. It's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. And so every mental illness it's not officially a mental illness if it's not in the DSM. And the DSM has been updated quite a few times. And so it is a diagnostic tool that professionals use to diagnose people with conditions. But the other side of that is that diagnosis in itself is this whole other conversation. A lot of times, and this is something I've seen in my own clinical practice, like, we have to hurry up and get a diagnosis because the insurance company is not going to cover people's sessions without it. And so then it ties into, like,
Wow.
yeah. So then it's like, okay.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
I did not
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Oh my God.
A lot of times. The
I
insurance
thought it
company
was
is like,
just the prescription. I thought it was pharma.
oh,
that
no.
had it. The
No.
insurance company.
Yes, it's the
covering
insurance
actual-
companies. Yes.
Oh my
Because self-diagnosis, you're never going to be able to prescribe yourself medication.
No.
And any decent doctor will listen to your concerns, but then also take their own knowledge and decide what you have, run tests, whatever else. Like, there are so many assessments that we give to figure out what's going on with people. But, like, if you've been down and feeling lifeless and sullen and like you have no interest in what's going on or interest in life for the past 3 months, you can call yourself depressed. Like, you're probably not wrong about that. Depression is probably what it is. And so then you can take that information and go talk to your doctor about it or go see a therapist. And this is, I feel like I'm so fortunate to be getting this degree in New York City specifically, because these programs teach us about all these different aspects of things. And it's very much like multicultural and consider how capitalism and society is impacting people's mental health and their access to it. And every program is not giving therapists this information. Every program is not encouraging therapists to think about things in a bigger way like that, like in a way that takes into consideration that, like, there are so many different factors that are affecting people and their mental health. Like, a lot of people would not be mentally ill if they had enough money to live.
Oh my God.
A lot of people would not have depression or anxiety and a whole host of other, like, there are some mental illnesses that, yes, you know, there's no amount of money that can change things. But a lot of people just need to not have to worry about rent and how they're feeding their fucking kids. Like, yeah, you're anxious. Look at the fucking world. Of course you are.
Right.
So, yeah, and I don't even want to get fully into the whole insurance conversation because it's so complicated and so frustrating. But, like, this is why if you can pay out of pocket for therapy, you are more likely to have a beneficial therapeutic relationship, because your therapist is probably doesn't have to see as many clients in order to make their money. Like, a lot of therapists, especially Black and brown therapists, are accepting as much insurance as they can, seeing as many people as they can, but then the insurance payout, what the insurance will pay you, is less than what you would make if you were just charging cash, like $150, $200, whatever. And psychiatrists, baby, the racket.
What's the difference for people who don't know?
Psychiatrists are medical doctors.
Right.
Psychologists have PhDs. And so
psychiatrists
can write prescriptions. And so many of them do not take any insurance at all because fuck you. Quite literally, because they don't have to. And insurance is a pain in the ass. You have to then hire somebody or spend hours and hours every week filling out forms and dealing with the insurance company, going back and forth. My psychiatrist charges $450 for a session. Now, that's not just a prescription refill. That's 45 minutes of his time. It's a session.
How long?
But it's $450. So I see him.
Okay.
Right now, I see him once a month. But once I've been on my meds for a while and have stabilized on them, then he's like, we can check in every 2 months or every 3 months. I'll write you a longer prescription once we know for sure. But it's like, who can afford that? Who can afford $450 a month on top of the cost for my antidepressant, which is also not covered by insurance?
My God.
So I'm spending, almost $800 a month just on the psychiatrist and my meds. That is not including my therapist. And it's like that automatically eliminates most people. And if if the insurance doesn't cover it, then you don't have access to the care. That is the reality for most Americans. And so it just goes back into the whole, like, it's all cyclical. It's all joined together, all connected. Yes.
Baby.
Yes. And all roads lead back to capitalism.
Baby, the way the broken record is over here.
Yes. All roads lead. I mean, I already knew that, but going to school really showed me that. All roads lead back to capitalism. They really do.
Which is also, I don't fault people for getting their information as they can, because not everybody has the. So, okay, what are some resources for folks if they can't go to school, if they don't have the access to really, like, are there? I mean, I would say Psychology Today. I mean, I utilize that quite a bit.
Yeah, you can find a therapist, I think, through Psychology Today, and I think they do articles.
They have great articles.
That sort of thing. Very Well Mind is another one that I really like.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me just log right into my... And where are my links? I have a school stuff bookmark on my...
Of course you do.
Of course I do, where I just... I'm always looking up the APA, but see, this is the thing. Most of the time, like, if you Google it, most of the time you're going to find like, Wikipedia tends to be pretty accurate about, at least what these things mean. Like, I'm pretty sure if you look up gaslighting, for example, on Wikipedia, they'll probably have the right definition for
Definition.
that. Yeah. So, but what is the other one that I really like? Oh, positive psychology.
Positive psychology.
Positivepsychology.com is another one that I really like. And again, I would say if you are looking for sources, um, look for sources that cite their source, that tell you where they got this from, that
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, this is the DSM, this is what the DSM says about this, or this is what this study says about this, and then actually click the study and read it. But see, that's when it kind of turns into an issue because scientific studies, journals, they're written in a very academic
Uh-huh.
voice and they can be difficult to read if you're not used to that. But I encourage niggas, like, check out the fucking library. You can see there's so much. Like, the libraries are all online now. You can go to the library from the comfort of your living room and learn something.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know, man. I can't. It's difficult for me to give like universal advice
Mm-hmm.
because nothing is guaranteed. I can say find a licensed therapist. Yeah, do that. But like 85% of therapists are white people, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and they should be in a place where they can put their own biases aside um and treat clients of color the same way they would others, but that doesn't really shake out in reality.
And
Like they
not all people, not all folks, brown and black folks,
mhm.
will feel
Absolutely
super
they don't.
seen or comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Most people want to see a therapist who shares their background
Their
because
lived
there's a
experience.
certain yes, because there's a certain amount of explaining shit that you don't have to do. So I get it when people are like, "Oh, I only want a black woman therapist," but good fucking luck, girl.
Mm.
Good fucking luck because the girls are booked. Okay, they are busy and they literally do not have the time or space. Like, there's just not enough of us to go around. So that's part of what I'm doing with this degree. Part of my overall goal is to start funding clinics where people can pay on a sliding scale, but the therapists
Crystal,
still
oh my
make a living
God.
wage. I know, and paying for more black and brown people to get this degree and paying them to get through licensure so that they can do this work. Like, I think that's really what I'm going to do with the degree, is more of like getting culturally competent therapists out to the people who need them, because it's really important. Like, there is nothing like a good relationship with the right therapist. Like, mine has completely changed my life, and I just want other people to have that same access without having to be rich in order to do it. So, but girl, the more I learn, the more I'm like, this is a deep problem, and
Hmm.
it's like it really does all go back to capitalism. And so, yeah, complicated, but I'm really passionate about it. I could go on and on, but
Complicated, but you're being a part of the solution, which
I'm
is really
trying
beautiful.
because
That's amazing.
niggas need it so bad. I cannot. When I say niggas, I mean black people, but men especially. My God, I feel like I'm gonna have to start a separate scholarship just for black men to get degrees in counseling, so that
Mm.
they can, and then be like, you come work at my clinic, and I will pay for your internship or whatever, like your externship after you graduate, when you're working on licensure. Like, come work in one of my clinics because Lord knows black men need it. And reaching out to the black people who are already doing this. Like, this is the thing. New York City, if you live in a giant city like New York, LA, you are probably going to have more access. No, you definitely are, to a therapist who matches your own cultural background, just because there are so many of us here. We cluster
Hmm.
here. Like, a lot of therapists are people who, went through trauma in their own damn childhoods and escaped to New York. It's a very common trope, it's real. And so I want to, go out into the flyover states that nobody thinks about. I'm from Oklahoma. Don't nobody really be thinking about Oklahoma like that. But there are black people all over this country, not just in, Miami and Atlanta, and they need mental health access just like anybody else. So, yeah, I have a lot of dreams for what I want to do with this career, but I just feel like mental health care is so important, and So I'm glad that the conversation is more mainstream. I just really want people to kind of tighten up on the content they're putting out there, because my
Gotta be more
clients are coming to
responsible.
me with the lies
Yeah.
that y'all have fed them on TikTok. Yeah. And so
Yeah, we
that I'm
gotta
quite
be
over, but
collectively more responsible with
it
it.
takes time. It'll get there. But until then, child, everybody is trauma, and everybody's just whatever. Y'all
Everybody's
just,
doing what they can.
everybody's just saying words, man. Everybody's just saying
Mhm.
words.
Listen, words.
They're just trying to get the clicks, that's the thing. The people who are making these TikToks are just trying to go viral so they can make money. Like, they want some sponsored content, like it all goes back to people just trying to make it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't give people that much grace because it's a lot of people. You have the money and you're still just saying words.
Well, not
How much
everybody,
more do you...
but
No,
a
because
lot
I
of
mean,
them.
look at you. You ain't doing that.
Well, not deliberately, but if I ever say something that's incorrect, the people certainly feel free to call me out on that. So
And that's a part of it. We're,
it
again,
is
deeply flawed and human, but the
human. I'm
intention,
going to mess up,
right, the
but
intention is there.
never deliberately. And I am open to learning and saying something after I have learned, which is, going back to the earlier conversation we had. Please be willing to learn something and to
I
grow.
learned something today. The
Yes,
definition
girl.
of insanity.
I mean, and I love that quote. Doesn't everybody? But
It's really
again,
good.
that's the stuff that travels because it's fun and witty and easy to remember. When
I
the
feel like that's an
actual,
African proverb or something. It just feels deeply
yeah,
embedded in my bone marrow.
yeah, these just aren't easy, simple, quick conversations to have. Then there's almost nothing that you can say that universally applies.
Nothing, yeah.
So,
The nuance is always
and
there.
and the nuanced conversation is one people don't want to have, or are not equipped to have. I'll just
That part.
put it that way and be nice
That part.
about it. But quite frankly, you niggas don't know what you're talking about.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary folks, okay.
Who
Because
do
I did
you?
not, matter of fact, let me go ahead and Google her real fast because I did not give a proper introduction and I would like to
No,
apologize.
no, don't Google me. I'm not on Google.
You on Google.
Oh,
Crystal
girl.
West, I'm gonna read
Okay.
Wikipedia
Womp.
since you fucking said that it was accurate, is an American writer and
Wait,
comedian.
is my Wikipedia correct? No,
This is what
see,
they said. I'm gonna read
see,
it.
this is why I'm saying gaslighting is probably correct. Me, IDK.
She is best known as the co-host of the pop culture podcast, The
Wow,
Read.
I'm
She
right
has
here.
starred in episodes of drunk
Okay,
history,
all right.
on which she has told the story of Harriet Tubman's work as a Union spy during the Civil War, as well as Marsha P. Johnson
Who
and the
wrote
Stonewall
this?
Riot. I don't know.
Wow.
And that's like the blurb. But also had a show on Fuse. Also just a dope ass fucking human. Also is the
Okay.
pod mother, made all this shit possible.
All right.
So a really great friend. Somebody
Yes.
who I will never forget, saw me down and out. I had a horrible, horrible week. I don't even think you remember this. I had got laid off during COVID. I got laid off. I was feeling depressed and I was up in that house, that old apartment by myself, and then got robbed from my computer.
Oh, I do remember that.
Was out
Oh.
helping a friend, and all of a sudden I just got a fucking message from Crystal, a cash app with money, saying, I heard you had a really rough week. I hope this helps.
Oh.
And we might have met maybe 5 times before that. And I said, oh my God, I can't. You were like, girl, be quiet. Just shut up.
Wow.
And that might have been when I Googled you, like, who is this bitch?
Girl.
No, I'm playing.
I just love how you're like, I barely knew her. And I'm like, I've been friends with Antoinette for so long. Like, I feel like I'm the only one
I
in this
didn't
friendship.
That's not true, Crystal. I was like, you know what it is? I often feel like, I'm like, well, those are Jade's friends and they let me come along. And I don't
Oh,
feel
no.
like that anymore.
No.
At
Okay,
all.
good.
I
Yeah.
definitely don't. But in the beginning, I was like, oh, okay. And I was kind of
Mhm.
like tiptoeing around.
Yeah.
And then when you saw me as my self, my little quirky,
You're so delightful.
strange self. After, baby, I was at your Super Bowl party. I bit you. After I bit
Oh,
you, we
yes.
was best
Oh,
friends
God. Bit
at
me.
that point.
On my arm, in my home.
In your home. And I was like, why
Sunk
would you
her
do
teeth
that?
into my arm. My arm still hurt the next day. I said, this nigga really came in my house and bit me.
I'm so sorry.
You meant it
I don't
though.
know why that was my response. I was so excited. I was
The
excited for Odell.
But then at your birthday party, when they showed like the montage of pictures and videos and
Oh
stuff, and I
God,
saw you had done the exact same thing to like your daddy, I
I
said, "Oh,
did. And
so she
guess what
is
that was on? A
was
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl."
When the fucking Eagles won the
Yep,
Super Bowl,
there we
I did
go.
them. There's something about that. When I get excited, I want to bite.
I said,
And
"Okay, this is just how she is." Then I'm not.
I'm
This
so
isn't
sorry.
personal. She's just weird.
No, just weird. But wait, before you get out of here for real, because I kept you a long time. I apologize, girl, but this was
It
great.
is
I had such a
bedtime.
good
It's
time.
literally my bedtime.
Oh no, sorry, it's nine
Girl, it
o'clock.
is 9 o'clock on a Friday. It's not my damn bedtime, but
Okay. Do you have time for rapid fire questions? Because
sure.
duality is a thing here around the way curls.
Okay. Well, all right.
All
I'll
right.
do my best.
Here are the rules.
Oh no.
It's a either or. We'll give you
Okay.
two different things and you select the thing. You can't explain why. You can't do all the but
No.
this is because
But that's
I
my favorite thing to do.
can't rationalize. Just
Oh
gotta
no.
say it and you just gotta fucking mean it. All right?
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
you ready?
Sure.
All right. Malcolm or Martin?
Malcolm.
Generational wealth or familial happiness?
Familial happiness.
Jay or Nas?
J.
Mac or Sephora?
Sephora.
Palestine or Israel?
Palestine.
In the light or in the dark?
In the light.
Prince or Michael?
Michael.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Marriage or long-term commitment?
Long-term commitment.
Trader Joe's or Whole Foods?
You tricky girl. That
Be
is it.
bougie. Be bougie. Just like
Whole Foods.
Voodoo or brown sugar?
Who?
Voodoo or brown sugar?
Oh, voodoo.
Family or career?
Shit. Um.
One answer.
Really depends on the family.
It does not.
I'm sorry, it depends
Follow
too much on the
directions.
family.
My goodness gracious. A seat at the table or lemonade?
Oh, you're really a dirty person. Like you're really a cold-hearted
You just said such nice things.
demon
about me.
of a human being. Why would you? A seat at the table, girl. You're annoying. I can't believe you
Nikki?
did that to me.
Nikki or Cardi?
Cardi.
Jollof or rice and peas?
Ooh, jollof.
Missionary or doggy style?
Doggy.
Protection or pull out in prayer? It's a funny one for you.
I mean, I'm like,
You're a heterosexual now. Let's go.
oh, right. Protection.
It's a Uchi Wally Wally. Is a one mic.
It's what, Mike.
Love Jones or Jason's lyric?
Love Jones.
Oh, she ain't like either one of them, y'all. Sir or Rumi?
Okay, these are children. What?
Sir
I'm
or
not
Rumi?
choosing between Beyonce's twins. That's so
See?
weird.
Lisa Bonet or Nia Long?
Nia Long.
Bell Hooks or Audre Lorde?
Why don't you just go to hell? Why don't you
you're
just
the
go to
worst
hell
at this.
instead?
You don't
I
follow
don't
any
care.
directions.
Well, I'm reading a lot of bell hooks right now, so I will just say her.
Nuck if you buck or Annie up?
I thought this was gonna be funner than this.
Oh my God.
God damn, man, what? Annie up.
9/11, inside job or terrorist attack?
What? Isn't it both?
You just Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce,
Biggie or Pac?
Pac,
Erica or Jill?
Jill,
Read a book or watch the movie? It's the breath in the mic. If you don't just answer the fucking
because
question.
because it matters which book, which
She's
movie.
having a heart attack over there.
Read the book. Read the goddamn book.
Sundress or sweatpants?
Shit, sundress.
Toni Morrison or Alice Walker?
I'm just
Come
going to
on.
cut the computer off. I'm actually just going to cut the computer off.
No, you
Goodbye.
can't.
Goodbye.
We're almost done. Also,
You're awful.
come on. Everybody answers these. Every guest.
Toni Morrison. This is awful.
Flats or drums?
I really don't even care. It's all chicken to me.
Acceptable answer. All right. Netflix or Hulu?
God, this is annoying. Because Hulu.
Oh my God. It's only annoying because you want to fucking give us a caveat.
Yes.
Just
I want to
pick
explain
one.
why.
You can't. Sorry.
I watch more Hulu.
See how she snuck that in there? I didn't ask you that. Oh my God. Buy stocks or buy flights?
Ooh, flights.
Travel back in time or travel forward in time?
Be serious. You gonna ask a nigga if they want to travel back in time or forward?
Where were the slaves?
Girl, no. Zoom me through the future.
Okay, ready? This is
Woo.
funny. The fun in your 30s or the wisdom of your 40s?
The wisdom of your 40s.
And finally, love and light or money and clits?
Nigga, what?
We usually say love and light or money and dicks. That was like a tagline.
But I'm heterosexual, so.
Okay, love and light or money and dicks? It's not right. Heterosexual.
Money and dicks.
Oh, she's back, baby. This is a hot ass mess.
You're a mess. I can't believe you did that to me. Alice Walker or Toni Morrison, you're going to jail. You're going to jail.
I think it needs to be Toni Morrison or Maya Angelou. I don't know. Maya needs to be in here, but I don't know who to put her up against.
Yeah.
Because she just like, is it like Maya or Sonia Sanchez? Is it that? But I don't think people know Sonia as much.
Not like that. They don't. So that was a lot more anxiety inducing than I thought it would be. Thanks so much. Yeah. And I'm literally, I bet it was fun for you.
You were sweating?
A little bit. I'm like, damn, nigga. Because what?
Oh my God. Well, don't worry. You don't have to choose in real life. It was just for the little game.
Yes, no, and it was so fun. It's so fun.
I'm sorry, the game wasn't fun. Well, everyone.
I just said it was fun, nigga. I had a great time.
Do you want to tell people where they can follow you? Because I'm pretty sure they know.
Yes, I have a podcast that I host with my friend Kid Fury. It's called The Read. It comes out every week, usually, sometimes. But you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. We have a website, thisistheread.com.
Oh, merch just came out. New merch. It's already
Oh,
sold
yes. New merch available at shoptheread.com. Girl, I don't know.
It's probably sold out.
It's probably not. Mm-hmm. Let me see. But anyway, why would the people buy merch when they have not even heard the show? So you don't have to plug the merch website. But yes, so that is where you can find me, or at crissle.com. That's my website.
All right. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
Finally.
so much for your friendship. Don't do that.
Antoinette had no one else to call. She said, God damn,
That
I
is
guess.
not true. I was so excited and nervous.
Yes.
I was nervous. I'm serious. And Jay told me I was being stupid.
Yeah.
She was like, you being
Oh, damn, not you being an idiot.
No, she was like, girl, get the fuck off my phone.
That's one we
she
really
said
need
when
to... We
I
really
wanted
need
her
to
to-
have a therapy conversation with that nigga. She's mean.
She is mean, Crystal.
She's mean to you.
She's mean to me, right? I know it. I was like, I'm not making this up.
Now she called you an idiot and told you to get off her phone.
She's like, get the fuck off my phone.
I mean,
She
but
said
that was
all the
silly.
time.
Like, because stressing
Maybe
out about
there's-
asking me to be on your show.
There's just a little intimidation, maybe. I don't know. I got work to do.
I don't know why. What? I came to your house and helped you clean up for a dick appointment.
Oh,
There's nothing else to be intimidated
God.
about.
It
Oh, you didn't
even
tell that
happen.
story? Okay.
It didn't even happen.
You were so devastated.
Only me.
Okay.
Only me would have friends in here cleaning my house.
Uh-huh.
And
We
then
had all
it
went to
didn't
brunch
happen.
too. We were half drunk talking about, let's go help.
Everybody everybody was so deeply invested in me and my
Yes, yes.
sexuality and my needs,
Yep. And then
and they
didn't
weren't
even.
met.
No, they weren't. That nigga wanted to cuddle all night.
He didn't even want to cuddle.
Oh, damn. I thought he was like, girl, I'm falling in love with you. I don't want
No,
to disrespect
girl.
you.
No, I don't know what the. Let me go.
Right. I was about to say,
I
because
don't like talking about
I'm
this.
always telling Antoinette's business.
You be, girl.
At the
The
live
way
show.
she be outing me, I'm like, ooh. And I still pump my own gas. And
I was about to
I'm
say,
a set and I pump my own gas with Asante, so get him. He pumped some other bitch's gas that didn't know how to pump the gas. We got out and I started pumping the gas when we was on the See the Thing Is tour. And the lady was like, do you know how to do this? And he was like, oh yeah, I got you. Walked all the way out the car to go pump this lady's gas.
okay, yes, he went to go help somebody who didn't know how to do it, girl. That makes sense. If
That's
that
so
lady
wild.
wasn't there, he would have done it.
No, he was sitting in the car. Okay?
Okay, all right. He said,
So I'm
fuck
not
it.
making this up.
Well, because you know why? Because he
I love
knew
him,
that
though.
you
He knew I
don't
did it.
make niggas pump gas. So he
And
was
he
like,
does
why
that-
am I going to get out and do it when she be
Exactly.
letting grown men ride in the passenger seat of her car
My luxury vehicle. Yes.
and not, yes, your luxury SUV, and not even get out and pump the fucking, like, I'm sorry. That's crazy to me as somebody from the South. That is truly, I have never pumped gas with anybody that I have been dating or sexually involved with. Not ever, not one time.
Well, we
So,
live different lives.
Yeah, we
Crystal.
do. We're both
You live
heterosexual,
in
and
the
that's what
sky.
matters.
Bye. Bye. All right. With that,
We're both straight girls having a straight experience, and that's what counts.
I don't actually really think that you are straight. You just
Thank
are so
you.
deeply disappointed in
Nobody-
men because you are attracted to men. You are. I've heard it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what the? I'm
Yeah,
just so confused.
I'm very fortunate to also be attracted to women, so I have options because men are truly terrible. But
Oh
you know,
wow, says the therapist. Men, I'm a case for men. Men are not truly terrible. We're unraveling here at the end.
okay, you're right. Men aren't terrible. Patriarchy is terrible, and most of them are fully invested in that. So
And women as well. Accountability.
unfortunately, okay. See,
Hey,
I gotta do like a Hotep deprogramming something with you because this whole, well, we have to talk about women. Like, girl, no, we don't.
Why don't we? How are we gonna have the conversation and not have the other side?
Because we're not. So okay, see, this whole how we not gonna do both sides of it. Everything don't need a two sides, both sides kind of argument. Like when I'm talking about men operating in patriarchy, I'm talking about sexual assault, other kinds of violence against women, financial abuse,
Yes.
things of this nature. I'm not talking about, some Twitter argument about splitting $200 dates or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about systemic violence against women as a marginalized group. So we don't have to both sides that.
I'm open to learning. I'm glad we clarified.
Get off my line. Now
All
I'm Jade.
right. Now you're Jade.
Now I'm Jade. Get off my fucking line.
All right, everybody. Shanti will be back next week. I hope
I know
you
they're
enjoy.
so glad. I know they can't
No,
wait
they
for me
are.
to be gone.
They are very excited. Don't do that. All right.
Okay.
And with that, we are out. Girl, you the
Yay.
best. Let me stop this.
That was so fun.